Are you
Hey,
using the
welcome.
mic from the? Hold on. Are you using the mic from your Mac?
Yes, because the other
Okay,
one.
so am I. So that's I just making sure that you're the same as me.
And cold start. Welcome, everybody.
See, he stopped telling me the countdown now.
He did say we were starting.
It's on the screen. It's on.
Where? Where is it on the screen?
Look at
On the
video.
right-hand side, man.
It's his video.
Yeah, welcome.
Video.
This is our
I
live
see
chat.
video now.
We're doing a game of the year because it is the end of the year, everyone. And so we have a lot of games to cover, talking about the best and maybe worst experiences of 2023. So, and of course, we're here with lots of friends today. So we got Derek from Canje Studios and Barrett and Colin from Meet Me at the Table. And of course, Kim's here.
Oh, just
Thank you for having me, Steve.
That's fine.
Yep, appreciate it, Steve.
Yep. Hi,
Nice.
guys.
Yeah, they're slumming and invited me back again. So
I tried changing the password, but it didn't work out. He
nope,
figured it out.
nope. It's what I put on my luggage, so it's fine.
Did you guys notice that December 31st is in order to write the name or the date, December 31st is 123
Yep.
I thought that was cool. So I thought that's why.
If you do the American way of writing it, that's right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Do it the other way. It doesn't work.
Come on. Right. You have to preface that.
That's not. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
it's 12/31/23. 1, 2,
Tell
3,
us not
1,
like
2,
me. He
3.
doesn't just spurt out things and pretend they're real.
Oh, sorry. I was going 2023. That's why I was like, hey, I'm allowed to be stupid, okay?
That was your one time, Canje. After this, you get no more chances.
No,
Don't
lots of
worry, it
friends.
resets at the beginning of the year, Kenji. It resets.
It resets. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that means he only has a couple of days.
That's when you say. That's when you say, "Oh, Derek, you're so pretty."
Lots of people here. We got, hey, Ryan, how's it going? Hey, Little Nim, and Jen's here. Hey, Jen, how's it going? Robin's here, and I see Stacy also on. Sweet, we got lots of friends.
Oh, my wife's awake. That's good.
Okay, so yeah, we got a lot of different categories, and everyone has at least almost everybody has games for every category. There's one category we'll probably go over pretty quick, but sometimes multiple games. And as we go through, I'd love to hear you guys' own picks and guesses. So, okay, let us start because we have a lot of things
Kick
to
this
cover.
pig.
Yeah, let's rock it.
Kick the pig. I forgot about that.
Do we have a limit, like a 1 minute limit, and then I can cut Derek off? You know, I can be like, Derek, no more. I'm just kidding. I'm the one who talks a lot. So we have a limit.
No, we'll just see how it goes.
No, we're gonna start playing some music for you, and
Oh,
then that's the cue.
That's right. That's the cue.
I'll just keep talking until I hear the music.
Okay. First category we'll go over is a look back game. This give credit to Colin. He suggested this one. I think it's a really good option. So of course we're going to be talking about games in 2023. But before we do that, it's nice to look at a game we played this year that wasn't released this year that we really enjoyed. And so let's go and start it off with Derek with his pick for this year, being Marvel Zombies.
Oh.
Yep. The base game delivered last year. And so and everything else got dumped on us this year. And so I really, really enjoy this game a lot. I'm going to be playing it Monday. But I'm really enjoying the content that comes with it. I've actually culled my zombie side Black Plague, which was my favorite zombie side once this came in, and now this is my new zombie side of choice.
Wow. Well, good choice. I also thoroughly enjoy this game.
Yeah, this is a really fun one. This is definitely one of the best zombicide iterations for sure.
What do you like so much better about that versus Zombicide Black Plague?
I think the way that the characters work is that I don't have to break a door. You don't have to worry about noise. It's just the abilities, like for instance, the zombie heroes, every single turn their hunger grows, which gives them more power, which lets you roll more dice. Whereas the regular heroes, you actually have to you gain power, but but you have to spend it to roll more dice. So heroes and zombie heroes operate slightly differently. Zombie heroes, of course, get to also munch on people to recover hunger. So that's how you lose it before you go insane. And just you have Marvel heroes. I'm a huge fan of Marvel. So you have Marvel heroes that have each, so far of what I've played, each character has felt different. And now with the umpteen bazillion minis that have been delivered to me,
so paint them.
So I am, going through that set, but it's fun. I enjoy it a lot. It is challenging, but it's fun.
I like how the characters, it gives me a slight vibe of like Cthulhu Death May Die when you play as the Marvel Zombies, because like you get more powerful the hungrier you get, but that also is bad because you take damage and you get close to losing. So it's got like a slight, I don't know, twist to that approach. So
yeah, and I do have the expansion with She-Hulk, Kim. So
there we go. Now we can do more gap slams.
Yeah, so that's my look back game that I'm loving.
Awesome. Next one to talk about will be Colin. So Colin has a look back, which the game I haven't played in a while, but Zaya.
Oh yeah,
Zaya. So that's a 2014 game, so it's a little old, but oh my gosh, it's gonna be 10 years old, I think. Yeah, that's crazy. The game, I mean, I'm specifically talking though with the Embers of Forsaken Star expansion, which came out I think in 2017. But it's just a fantastic solo experience for me. It's your sandbox adventure, yet with the solo campaign, you have specific objectives you have to meet for those, and you're trying to complete all 10. And after each scenario, you get a small little upgrade. And so you slowly become more and more powerful. And then you can take on the harder and harder scenarios. For example, one of the scenarios, you start being 10 fame behind the bad guy or the NPCs. And so you have to catch up by 20 fame and beat them to 20, and they already start at 10. So super cool. I love all of the additions that they had in the Embers of Forsaken Star to help mitigate a lot of the dice rolls. GTSs, which add automatic pluses to your dice and stuff like that. You can hold additional mission cards. Yeah, it's super fun. And I'm doing my second campaign. I'm doing it on Meet Me at the Table, and I can't get enough of it. So yeah, Zaya, absolutely love it.
How does it scale in terms of, so it's 2014, it's about to be a decade old, but how does it scale now with the mechanics and things that you're seeing today as opposed to that?
That's a great question. And the thing is, when I think of other sandbox games, meaning that you've got a game where you sit there and you literally can score your VP or your fame or your points in any way, it's actually very similar. You've got lots of different options of doing it. You've got it by, just selling cargo. You can just destroy ships. You can, and a lot of those mechanics of this are very similar to games now, which actually I'm kind of impressed with Cody. The difference would be everything's resolved through dice, right? So there's a lot of people will have a hard time with that, especially with movement. You roll to move,
especially Derek.
But that's why you get a GTS, or you get Enviro Shields, which does auto, and that's what the Embers of Forsaken Star expansion did. Is it made it a lot better from that regard. So instead of you being, you're still at the whim of the dice for something like going and flying into an asteroid field, which I think makes thematic sense. Yeah. But if I want to make sure that my shields are always going to be max when I'm going through those things, I can actually do upgrades for my shields to do that. Or if I want to make sure that my die roll, because even if I have a D12 engine, I can roll a 1 on a 12, I can get 2 GTSs next to them, and then that gets me a +4 to my roll every time, no matter what. So the lowest I'll ever roll is a 5. So they've done a really good job of getting
mitigating the RNG. Yeah. Okay.
But it still is a dice game, right? I mean, everything you're doing, you're going to be rolling dice for everything, right? Except for cargo. Cargo, you don't have to.
Was Embers the solo? Is that the one that got the solo mode in it?
It comes with the solo mode, plus it gives you all of these different things that I'm talking about, the small modifications that you can put into your ship.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was not the only game you had listed for your look back, Colin.
Of course not.
I always have more than one. Just in a couple categories, I promise.
No, it's fine. Totally fine. The other one was Battle for Greyport.
Yes, so we played it at Gen Con, which is why I wanted to bring this up, because Steve, myself, and Bears played it at Gen Con, and I liked it, but we played a couple rules wrong. And so I ended up getting a copy from my buddy Terrence and brought it home and played it the right way. And my kids and I love it because it's that game where you're involved in every turn, because you can play a card in everybody's turn. Actually, you need to play a card during everybody's turn if you can to help them out.
Yeah.
And so there's this really fun tactical play. I feel like it's Shadowrun Crossfire, just a little bit lighter of an experience. And it's got different missions that you can play. And with the expansion, you have pirates, and then the other one added like tech robots and stuff. And it's so cool. But so it's a basic deck builder. Where you're going to be buying cards, but you buy them into your hand, which I always love that. But then everyone can play cards on your turn. But that also means that when it's your turn, if you've played cards on everyone else's turn, you only have 2 or 3 cards.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and so you have that decision of, do I help that person now, or do I need to keep it to be ready for my turn? Because the enemies that
Keep
attack,
it for yourself.
yeah, well, Baron play semi-co-op or full competitive. I mean, come on, and you just keep it. But it's really cool. And the thing that we did wrong during our time playing in a Gen Con was that we thought we could fight anybody anywhere on the board, but that's not true. You can only attack the ones that are on you. Unless those are gone, then you can attack other players with other players' enemies. So it's even more helpful that you help boost those players when you can. So it's really interesting. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good game. I've always had fun playing this one. This one, I will say, is best 3-player at least.
Absolutely. 3 is the absolute best.
Yeah.
4 works too, actually.
It does.
3 and 4.
3, 4
5
works
it gets a little long. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Good choices. Good choices. Okay. Next person on the list will be Barrett, and I bet Colin might have a few things to say about this look back as well. Oathsworn.
It's only a year old, but I had so much fun. Colin and I played this all the way through. It's one of the greatest experiences ever, and so I have to give this a nod. We had a fantastic time romping through the Darkwood, and oh boy, there's so many memorable moments. If you're interested in knowing anything about Oathsworn, you could check out, I think what would we do, like 40 video live playthrough of this over on at Meet Me at the Table. I don't really need to say much about this game. It's fantastic, story driven, like boss battler, super cool. Though I have to admit, we did do a review of this at the end, and we even had Toby on there, where near the end they kind of did run out of a little bit of time to try to really flesh out this game to 100% of what they wanted, but it still was a great experience to get all the way through it.
Now, wasn't there talk of more Oathsworn coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're in on that then.
When I talked to him at Gen Con, none of them were there, but the guy who was there was talking about the new Arthurian game they were talking about, but they did say they're in the developments of Oathsworn 2. And he really even said it's not really, we're not going to be able to we're not calling it Oathsworn 2. We just say it's Oathsworn 2 because it's going to have a very similar feel. We don't know I don't think they're ready to divulge what setting it's in, what it's doing, if it even is a tack on, a prelude, or something completely different, but it has a very similar, I think they're going with the same feel.
Cool. Sounds good. Good. Okay, moving on.
That was a tough one for me to put on there. It was either that or Myth.
Always Myth.
Myth
Always.
was so good.
Take a shot, everyone.
Colin talked about a 2014 game. That'd be my 2014 game. Myth. I need to make Colin play that. Like, I made him play the new rules they're trying to use, and I'm looking back on it, and those new rules are terrible. I don't know why I even thought about that. I mean, this is real. I got to make you play the real thing and really show you what it's about. All right. I'm done, Steve.
Okay, let's talk about Colin had a deck builder on his list, and I actually have one as well for my look back, and that is Keep the Heroes Out. So, man, this game is always fun. The artwork is fantastic. I just love the fun, cute style they have on this, and the theme is great because you're playing as the bad guys, and you are protecting your hard-earned loot in the dungeon while the heroes come in try to steal from you, and that's a fun little take on it. And it's very easy to pick up and play, and the character variety, because you play as different monsters, is excellent. So I had the fortunate chance of playing, demoing some of the upcoming stuff with the designer. with the expansion, which was amazing. Like the additions he's making to this, I'm really, really excited for. So that helped also bring it back to the table for me this year. But this was a really, really fun one to jump into. And I also have another one. Surprise! We gotta call it Marvel United.
Would have had no idea.
You played that last year?
I don't think he did. Did he?
I think you did. I think this is a fake.
It's
Fake news.
Oh man, but this one I gotta call out to Derek a little bit with this because he's been doing a lot of homebrew stuff, which has been a lot of fun to play and see what he comes up with. And honestly, there's a big homebrew community out there. That's a lot of really fun ideas, and so that has also like reinvigorated or made it even more fun to explore United further. So
Yes. And I'm looking forward to season 2, Derek, where we're going to play another 300 rounds.
Yeah. The super great thing about that game is how fast it is to play. So
Yeah.
usually I did lunchtime streams, so I just play it 45 minutes, done and done. And and I can play that 3 or 4 handed and it doesn't break my brain. So it's one I love the mechanics of that game.
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah, everybody's playing bingo here, so we put some more go on the list. So. And yes, we're definitely going to value out with Marvel United. That's for sure.
Well, you
Yes.
better. We're paying enough for that.
True. More coming too, just a little bit more.
Yeah, Multiverse will just start it all over again.
So Kim has an interesting choice on her list.
Why? It's
It's a great choice. I think it was a fantastic
why would other people
suggestion.
think of this? Go for it.
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That's awesome.
Yeah. New to me too when we played it. So I'm having the best time. Go watch the streams on Derek's channel. It's a hoot.
Because this is your first time playing Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah, well
this year.
when we started,
Yeah.
with Derek. So
And you've just absolutely loved
I
it.
love it.
Just love it.
It's a good time. A lot of it's too like who we're playing with. So that's a big thing. But
Yeah.
But you also have a board game on here as well.
yeah, I had a card game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The Crew.
Mhm.
Super fun, quick card game, easy to get to the table. You don't have to play with gamers per se.
Yep.
And my brother always gives me a hard time. So this is one of my favorite quick card games to get out.
this one hits our table a lot. A lot. It's just so easy to pull out and play. By the way, if you ever get a chance to play this game with Barrett, absolutely take the opportunity. He's a savant. It's so fun to play with Barrett. Like, I've never seen, like, Barrett's normally like, well, I've got plans. This plan fails, no big deal. But, like, when this trick-taking crew comes up, he's, like, in the zone. It's amazing.
what you really should play with Barrett is Paint the Town Red. Isn't that
Paint
what it
the
was?
Roses.
Paint the Rose
Paint
Red?
the Roses.
Paint the
That's what it is. Paint the Roses.
Yes.
That was some of my best experiences with Barrett is playing Paint the Roses. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That was amazing.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Yep. Give me just the level 1 cards.
Oh wait, that cube should be there. Oh no, it shouldn't. Oh maybe it should. Oh no, it shouldn't.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Kim, I'd like to applaud your selections. Thank you so much for putting those on. Those are so far the only 2 games from the olden days that I've actually played this year. So that's I've never played any of those otherwise.
Well, awesome. We are
I haven't played
insane.
any of those games you put on.
Battle for Greatport, you played it.
Oh, I played the wrong way.
Yeah, but
That's
you
fine.
played it.
I experienced it. Maybe I don't even know if that's. I didn't even put that down as a play because I didn't even know what was going on. I sat next to you, going like, "What are we doing?"
Oh, so good.
Oh, yeah. Let's move on to the next category, which is going to be biggest surprise. So this is basically.
Wait, can't you do one?
What's that?
Yeah, I did Marvel
Marvel
Zombies.
Zombies.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry. I'm a little. It's
I'm not
I
paying attention.
Nope.
short attention span.
But yeah, biggest surprise. The
No,
biggest surprise
no.
is basically the game that you came in expecting something, and your opinion changed the most at the end of your experience, whatever it is, right? So, not necessarily surprise, but like your opinion changed a lot for this one. Is what it
Oh,
comes
that's
down
not
to.
what I thought this category was.
Oh, that's fine.
That's okay. I
That's
didn't
fine.
exactly think that either.
It's
So that's
funny,
okay.
Barrett, because I had a similar conversation. I'm like, this doesn't mean what I think you think it means.
Well, that's okay, Kim. The first time we did this, I put like hidden gem, and I put like the most popular game of like 20. I think Mike was there going like, "You thought this was a hidden gem?" Like, I didn't understand the category. I thought it was like it was a unique experience that hadn't been done before. Like it's like the most popular game right now. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, man.
man, so good.
Okay, but the for this one, the first one to go will be Colin. And Colin has not that one, sorry. War of the
say-
Ring.
Yes. Okay.
Oofta, oofta.
No.
Spoilers.
The
Spoilers.
coup really
Spoilers.
surprised me.
No, the was the last one. Sorry, I didn't go further. So
Okay, so this is specifically the expansion, right? Not the base game. So I played the base game, went to Gen Con, was super excited to pick up the expansion because it made it solo co-op. Was totally sold out. There was not many copies. So
This was like up in like hours.
yeah. So I didn't get I didn't get to play it before that. So I played the competitive game a couple times, and then I had heard about how many people were like, "Oh, it's so hard. It's terrible. It's not good. You feel like you have no agency of choice or whatever." So I had pre-ordered it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, why did I freaking order this thing? It's probably not even gonna be good." Well, then I got it and I played it, and I had a blast. So I'm not exactly sure how it all works, that some people have been not enjoying it, but I actually really enjoy it a lot. So I came in, and maybe it's that I came in with a negative connotation, and it wasn't as negative for me. It was actually really enjoyable. So that was my hidden gem, because I was like, oh my gosh, this actually is pretty good. You have to know how to play. It's not a game that you can just jump right in and play the solo game, because if you do, you're going to get screwed over. You need to understand how the specifically the Fellowship works, those two decks, to be able to make it work for solo co-op. And I think that's probably its downfall, is that people got it just for solo co-op, jumped right in, and then just get wasted because they don't understand that you want to use those same strategies that you use in the competitive game with the cooperative experience. Yeah, I don't win it often, but I get close every single time, and I love that. And yeah, sometimes you get hosed from the card draw, but that's true in the competitive game too. And I, of course, love the theme. The theme is just, it's my favorite theme, really. So that always helps. But yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
I should play that with you sometime.
Yeah, we need to play it. We absolutely need to play it.
okay, the next game is actually going to be. I'll have three of you joining for this one. Barrett, Derek, and Kim all aligned on their biggest surprise, and that is Kinfire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For me, a lot of it was everyone's like, oh, the bag draw with the chips is going to be weird. And hold on, I got to go through my notes. So I wrote notes.
You have notes? I have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
She is so good. She's showing all of us up right now.
She is.
That's right.
We
In my new
look
notebook that
terrible.
I'm designing. Anyway, yeah.
You're
and then,
designing a notebook?
yeah, I was messing around with the Amazon publishing thing just for funsies. Anyway, but that's not the point. The point is, on Kinfire, we had the chits, and everyone was so naysay. And then when we did a play, it was like, it took me 3 plays to like say, okay, I really like this game. And that's where I'm saying my mind changed after several plays. Because the early like card play with the story cards, you weren't really doing much. You were telling a story, which was interesting, but it didn't grab me or anything like that. But yeah, by the 3rd play, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. This is a lot of fun, and you get into it more. So that's why I changed my mind.
Yeah, my mind change was the playthrough of that I saw that the developers for Kinfire did. They bought a bunch of they paid a bunch of famous voice actors to sit at a table and basically just kind of do a session of the game, but they were voice acting and playing and doing all these things. And I was like, this doesn't feel like a game. This feels like a story, and all I'm going to do is just be listening to people tell a story instead of playing a game. So while I enjoyed them doing that, it didn't show the game off well. And so therefore I didn't back it on Kickstarter or anything. I just kind of let it go by. And when we were at Gen Con, I chatted with the with the creators over at Foreteller, and they were telling me more about it. And I was like, okay, well, that wasn't showcased at all. So that sounds cool. So I went ahead and got it at Gen Con. And then I went to a Game of Palooza and Steve had it. Steve and Kim played it with me, and I was like, okay, this is a fun game. It just was not showcased well, so it surprised me that from how they portrayed it to me playing it was a completely different experience. But it was a good surprise.
It was a good surprise.
Yeah, this one is I enjoyed this one quite a bit too. It's a good choice. It's a good choice.
I didn't expect when I started playing it. I was very similar to probably Kim's experience. I wasn't really sure what to expect out of this thing, and when they had some mechanics that we hadn't really seen a lot of in gaming, I was afraid some of it might not work. But I have yet to be proven wrong as to any of the mechanics not working. The story cards unfolding, I think, was a great idea instead of just having a book in front of you. I think that works really well for a game like this. The character development it works. It's just putting new cards in to expand a deck that works. I expected I just didn't in the initiative system. I think once you go to a high player count might have an issue, but I don't think there's much of an issue even playing with 2 players. I think it's great. I don't think. I mean, Kyle and I have played a few of it. We've played some with our families. I'm sure you've had the same experience where it's really not been a bad experience. Usually, on averages, you're going to have a bad experience, I think, every once in a while. But I think that's come so rare that from what I would have expected, which is why I think it's such a surprise to me, is that I'm just surprised the game worked and it is fun as it is, which is more fun than I would have ever expected.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
I
The
do also
organization and the presentation of the game is excellent too.
Yeah.
So.
That is
That's
ridiculous.
it.
Yeah, my kids just love it when I open the box.
Mhm.
I also think that you can if you really don't like the chip pulling, you can have get certain cards that let you redraw chips from a bag. Or I'm playing one of the characters with my family where I can actually remove one of the bad guys' chips for the entire rest of the game, and I always make sure to use that ability as soon as I possibly can to give us more chances with that initiative bag. So I don't think the initiative bag thing is perfect, but I actually have enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to need to totally change that if I was going to play that game, and I really haven't felt that way.
Yeah.
That's such a surprise to me. So
Yeah, the question is this a good solo game? As a solo gamer, you have to play 2 characters, so you have to play 2-handed, but it translates well. It's super easy to play. It works.
it's not daunting.
Yeah, it works.
Yep, I agree with that. Definitely.
I think in my recorded playthrough, did I do a recorded playthrough? I think I did. I think I did 3 players, didn't I? And it was still fine. It was still fine.
Yeah. I think if I wanted to pick up another character, it wouldn't be difficult. It would be easy to do.
Cool.
My 7-year-old can play it and fully understands it, right? So it's that should
very approachable game for sure.
Yeah.
Very
no dice.
No dice.
Well,
good for people like Derek, not just good for people like Derek. That's okay.
Speaking of dice, my choice has lots and lots of dice in it. Lots of dice rolling. Now, this one is on the list because of what changed this year for it, and that is Uprising: Curse of the Last Emperor. So I have been loving this game. And so I got a chance to play. I know when the GameFound campaign was alive, got a chance to play with the designers, and that was a lot of fun. But I didn't really sink my teeth into it until this year to really delve into it and play it a lot. And it's been a really great experience. So I love 4X style games, but I am particular with them in the sense that 4X to me is civilization. Here is my nation or the country I'm running, whatever it is, and here's the politics and the tech trees and the armies, all that fun stuff. And this is not that. This is very much a fantasy theme on it, where you are managing armies and you're going on quests, getting magic items, stuff like that, and it's a very different take on it, but it is so fun, and I really, really enjoy this one quite a bit.
Barrett and I really need to revisit that. I have the whole thing. I just haven't pulled it out. It's just Yep, I got to do it. So,
I
Steve,
will-
you keep revitalizing my excitement for this game.
I think the only time we really played it, Colin, was either we were doing I was doing a video for the Kickstarter or Game Found, or else we were just kind of experimenting with it, kind of learning a little bit of it instead of just really digging in and giving it a shot.
Just sitting down and playing it for fun.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what we need to do.
Yeah. And let's say like the new stuff, like the advanced druids they added was a major impact on how much I enjoyed this game. Because they added that addition to get that more dice mitigation option and just more power option just added a ton for me. So
May I ask, do you still always have to play 2 factions?
that's correct. You always have to play 2 factions.
So not really solo friendly, because that's a lot
Correct.
to me. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, you can play 2 factions. It's doable, but it's not
Yeah.
it's not great from that standpoint.
It's a lot. And if I remember right, you
Yes.
have to be on opposite sides of the board too, right? So you have to put both in front, but one's far away from you, one's close to you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I know they are the design team is working on a solo approach to it, but I don't know where that is. So or if that's going to come to fruition, but all right. So that is the category biggest surprise. So
Surprise!
surprise. Let's move on to the next one, next category. So, biggest disappointments are going from the opposite side. And like I said, this doesn't mean these are necessarily bad games, just that they didn't meet our expectations. So, and we're going to start off with Derek with his first game. Look the list here. Bantam West.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Batman. I was like, what?
Yes, Batman
Yes,
West.
Batman West.
I was like, his name is-
Adam West.
I'm gonna say it's Adam West, not Batman West.
Yeah. So the disappointment for me for this game, as soon as I saw it, I called it. I called this game as soon as I saw the disappointment, which was, so they talked about this game during the campaign. It looked really cool. It was just kind of this adventure placement story that's going on in the Wild West. And it was very diverse, which also had me back. There's a lot of diversity in the game because America wasn't just filled with one type of people during that time. It never was. Anyway, so but they had all that they had set it up for it to be a really cool experience. And so I read through, there was chats about it where it was, is there a solo mode in this game? Is there a solo mode in this game? And the dev said, yes, there is a solo mode in this game. You can play this game solo, right? The game delivered, and there is one scenario that is solo, and you will have to replay it over and over, and it's the exact same. Everything else is multiplayer. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is crap. And I immediately called this game. It's the biggest disappointment to me was it wasn't genuine in talking about what is there, right? Which it may not be, and I'm not going to speak ill, but it may not be what the dev intended, but it felt disingenuous because it wasn't what was explained. And so therefore there was only one scenario that's solo, and there is a ton of other scenarios in the game that I would never be able to play. So I was like, you know what? Let's just make it a lessons learned thing, close it up. And I think this was part of my giveaway for the 2000 sub stream. And so, this was a big downer.
Well, I saw you list this on as your biggest disappointment. Like, yep, that's a great choice because I remember talking about this. I remember reading through the rulebook when you said, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And then I think we had that chat about the solo.
Yeah.
So
and it's just it could have been, the game looked really cool.
It
like they
does.
had it set up to be very different and something new. But if the dev, I guess for me, I won't speak for the dev on what they were thinking. I don't know. It's just more, if you're going to make your game that doesn't have a solo mode, that's fine, but advertise it as such, right? So that people who are going to spend their hard-earned money aren't disappointed by that.
Yeah.
Anyway, big downer.
Yep.
I think this kind of speaks to, there was a time period, and I still feel like this is something that Kickstarter has a hard time with, in board games in general, is that they know there's this solo community and it's quite large. And so they want to tap into that because they can get more people into their game. And so their thought was probably, yeah, there's going to be a solo mode. It'll just be one scenario that can teach you the game, and then the rest of it you can play with your friends multiplayer, right?
Right.
And so I totally agree that it feels disingenuous. I'm totally agreeing, but I do think that there's this phenomenon of just put a solo mode on there. You'll capture a ton more people than you would if you just only made it multiplayer. But I'm amazed how many games people get mad at devs, people that are creating the game that haven't made a solo mode. Like, why don't you make a solo mode? And the designer's like, well, it's not made as a solo game.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out a good way of doing it. But then people get mad at them.
Yeah. It's that same solo community that's the reason why they do the same one.
Yeah.
I think mine. Like, I don't mind if a game is not solo. I don't mind that at all. If they're like, nope, that is not what we designed it for, I completely respect that. Yep. It's more the don't do the yes, there's a solo mode and it's like one thing.
Yes.
Don't totally do that.
Totally agree. And I think that's, totally agree. And I think it's just a phenomenon that's a challenge right now in this environment because so many people know solo gaming is so large to pull in those other people. Right. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Colin, you are next on the list with your biggest disappointment.
This one was hard. I didn't really have much of a disappointment this year. I feel bad that Derek had such a bad experience. This one, I actually like Astronauts a lot. I enjoyed the game. I was expecting something different, I think, than what I got. This is more on me than anybody else. That I should have looked to realize that this was a step down from Aeon's End instead of a step up. And so my wife and I played Astronauts. We played through the bosses. I can't remember how many there are, 3 or 4 of them. And then immediately just went to Aeon's End and started playing all the stuff in Aeon's End because you miss the breaches, you miss the more unique bosses and all of that. So I think, though, and I'm saying all of this, I already backed to the new Astronaut stuff, and I just got a shipping notice yesterday. So I'm hoping that the new stuff might give a little bit more of juice or meat on the game itself. But it's one that right now has been sitting collecting dust because if I'm going to play either Astronauts or Aeon's End, I'm going Aeon's End. Go ahead.
What was it? What was it that really sunk it to where you're like, it's a step down? I'm not feeling it. What was the key? What did that for you?
Yeah, there's 2 things. One thing was no breaches. I love that challenge in Aeon's End. Do I want to spend time, getting my breaches ready to be activated? And in Astronauts, it's just a weapon slot that you literally move up. You just pay some and you move it up and you can put more cards out. So we love that because also that gave you a ton of cards that you would want to buy. I want to buy this card that gives me an autofocus of the breach, saving money, right? You don't have any of that. And then the second thing, which now I'm going to forget because I was talking. Oh, yes. So in this one, you have markets that are just, you just take the deck and then shuffle it up and boom, you're there. So each time you buy a card, a new card type shows up. At first, I thought I'd love that, but then you don't get at the beginning of the game, one of our favorite things with Aeon's End is Monica and I will sit down and we'll go, okay, what's the strategy with the cards that we have out? And it's like, you can do that strategy. I'll do this one. And then we implement it and we see if it works. With Astronauts, it's much more of a, well, I guess I'm going to buy that one because it's on top of the deck. And I'll buy that one. Oh, that really cool one that was underneath that would have been better, but I couldn't get it, So I think it was those 2 things that really I felt like it felt like a step down for me.
Okay.
All right. That's fair. Baron.
Still a good game though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baron, you're up next with your pick, and that is the vampire.
Yeah. I was really gung-ho on this game. I really thought I enjoyed playing through the preludes, and I was gonna dig into it, did the first mission, and after that it's kinda like I don't this is going away. The things that I didn't enjoy that I think I was really excited for was like being able to be these vampires and have these powers and being able to like experience this world. And I'll say it has a good story. It has a really good story that goes along with it. The problem is I felt like I almost was to the point when it came to playing the game, I might as well just read the story. There wasn't really a game. Some of the things they decided to do, I didn't really enjoy, like, oh, there's a board. Okay, I'm gonna move around the board. Well, if you're not in combat, you can kind of go wherever you want, and you can like and talk to people like, why do I have a board then? Why does it matter where I'm going? And then like when you go to talk to somebody, you can so when you talk to them, you can use some of the skills you have. Oh, okay, that's great. So I go talk to the guy and I'm like, And then the rules says, but you can have as many people talk to him as once if you want. And then you can use any skills you want. I'm like, well, why wouldn't I just talk with everybody all the time? And then I wouldn't have to, oh, hey, how are you? Good morning. And then I decide, okay, well, I'll just talk with us. And I was almost trying to be thematic. Like I was like, okay, I think this guy would be the guy who talked to him. So I'm not trying to like ruin the system. Because then you have once you get there, you have skill checks you have to do, like, oh, okay, so you have to use your presence in order to, and then you roll the dice, and the dice are going to give you successes, but you also get auto successes based on how like presentable you are, like how much your presence skill is, right? And it'd be like, okay, if you have 3, then you win. I'm like, well, my guy has 3 already. What? I don't even need to roll the dice. This is what? No, I'm not. Now all of a sudden you're taking my dice rolling away, and it didn't matter where I moved on the board. And then when you come to combat, I'm kind of like, okay, this is kind of cool. We'll see how combat goes. And that was kind of lackluster too. I was like, okay, the game itself was a very lackluster experience. What it really was a story, and it's put this game in there. So Colin was a very, very smart man, because we were at Gen Con. I was like, I just had gotten this, and I was like really kind of gung ho on this. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is coming to that True Brew game, or Tuburin or whatever. Has anybody heard of this thing? It's that like game that has like,
the digital board, the
digital board game. This is one of the ones they're bringing to it. And I was like, oh, that'd be super cool. I could do this. Nope. I was like, nah, you don't need to get that. I'm like, okay, I won't. That's fine. And super excited that he didn't do that for me.
I played that system not at last year's Gen Con, but the first Gen Con I went to, which was the previous year, and that wrote it off for me. It was, that probably should have been my disappointment. The people who created that thing, the people who created that peripheral device was, I'm sure they're wonderful people. I don't want to disparage. They work really hard at putting together this thing. At the same time, it is not for me, because you have this flat net that you put on. Everyone has to have a cell phone to play it. And then whenever you want to do everything is on your cell phone.
Oh.
The only thing is what's on the mat that you play. Cards, cell phone. Actions, cell phone. Everything you do is on your cell phone. And so when you roll the dice, you have to roll the dice. All right, I rolled the dice. It landed. I rolled a 10. Right? So everything you do, the app is trying to do for you, and it's not done in a way that works for me. And I'm only going to talk about my opinion. So
good. I can hardly wait to give it a shot when it comes out. I got that game they did to the boss battlers and all that.
Yep, that's the one I played.
All right, good. I'll give it a shot.
Awesome.
Okay, spoiler alert. Next year might be Barrett's biggest disappointment. I think we already know what it might be.
Didn't you realize when you were playing it? Didn't you realize when you were playing it that there was nothing but just everybody had like cell phones around at the table?
Never played. Didn't even see it. I didn't even see it. I just saw this sitting there, and I was like, oh, I should back this. And Colin said, no, don't do that. You don't need that. I'm glad I did, because this game no longer is my collection. This game is long gone. It is with a person that I'm sure is having a lot more fun with it than I did. So that was my bad experience with this. I had a lot of hopes for it, but really all it came down to is I could have just bought the book and just read it. Mm-hmm. And there was the game itself in here wasn't, even when you're like, then you could like upgrade and you can buy new skills and things like this. And we're like, but the skills, of course, didn't really do anything, because all it did was give you successes in certain things. And it's like, oh, I'm going to fight with this. Okay, who am I going to fight with? Probably the giant guy with a hammer. Probably not the wily guy who's like the investigator. He's probably going to stand back there. So, I mean, again, it's kind of like no brainer as to what's going to happen here. So we keep forgetting about Alice is missing. Oh, yeah, I have that. My wife's messing together. Okay, sorry. I'm disappointed.
The next one is we both aligned to. Kim and I did. So, and this isn't necessarily a bad game.
It's not a bad game.
Well, that's different from me. Vampires was a bad game.
Yeah. Yeah. So click the button. Okay. The Crisis.
This is the Crisis expansion.
Crisis expansion. I'm gonna make people mad. But this was my game of the year last year.
Not talking to you.
Right? So I was so like, the bar was high. And Colin, it kind of goes like, if your bar is a certain way, you know.
Yeah.
But my bar was really high because it was my game of the year. So I'm like, oh, this expansion is coming out. It's gonna be great. It's adding more to the co-op. And it I don't need to play with it. Like, I like the base game co-op version better without all this extra stuff. I'll throw it in there, but
Yeah.
like it was fine and fun, but it didn't hit the bar that I had set. And maybe that was my own fault.
Well, I
So-
think it also has a lot to do with the community, because the community was just talking this up. This is amazing. This is the best thing to play. The best way to play it. And frankly, we had fun playing the co-op rules from the base game, right? How it was originally released, and so we're expecting this to be so much better, and it just wasn't for us.
But it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It's still, I mean, it's a mode that
it wasn't up here.
Exactly, it's a mode that we would still play. It's fun, but if we had the choice, we'd play the normal co-op way. Plus, we can use all the expansion stuff anyway, because the big thing about Christ is it doesn't work with all the cards. But the regular way of playing, you can play with all the cards. So, like, well, why would we not want to do that? I guess I don't know.
Yeah. So disappointed. That's okay.
Disappointing, but like you said, not a bad game. Just
Yeah.
Ryan's got it. Lowered expectations. Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta sing it. You gotta sing it if you're gonna do it.
I know. Good. See, and Jen's in the same boat. She was like, all right, it wasn't just us, because everyone's like, this is amazing. I'm like,
It wasn't just you either. I do think that it was better lower player counts. So like solo or maybe 2. I liked the crisis mode a lot, but in 3 and 4 player, oh my gosh, it was so easy. It was way too easy. That's where the it didn't work for me with 3 or 4 player. But we did like it 2 player. Monica and I would play it 2 player.
I've only ever played this game solo. Oh no, I played a co-op with you once, Colin. But other than that, I've only played it solo.
But you never played the crisis mode. You never played the new version.
I did play with my wife once, but that was a solo experience.
Yeah, it was pretty much Robin playing, telling you what to do.
What to do in order to win, because I was going to do other things. Like, no,
No,
you're not using that card. You're using this card because we're going to win this game. I'm like, okay. It was super fun.
Robin taking care of you.
Yep, she gets pretty competitive. She's like, well, it's like, I gotta win, which is why we don't have Robinson Crusoe.
Parents' plan is bad.
Parents' plan is bad.
Accurate. Nice. Okay, well, enough of that category. I don't like being downer. Let's move on to the next category, which is going to be hidden gems. So something that not a lot of people are talking about that you want to put a spotlight on for this year. So the first one will be Derek. Derek playing with I'm going to call it a stealth game just to bug him. Orc Quest.
Orc Quest is a hidden gem. This game took forever to deliver, but for good reason. I explained it on the video that the dev's entire team evaporated. So it just came down to him, and he had to finish it. He drugged that game all the way to the finish line. And then he ran out of money. He was putting his own funds, and he was still like, I don't have enough to make this game. So he shopped it to publishers. Colossal Games picked it up, and he made sure that everyone who backed the original game got everything for if you got the base, he upgraded you for free, made sure you got everything. So he really worked to get this game delivered out, and it didn't disappoint. It's a fun hack and slash game. Barrett did a playthrough of it on his channel on Meet Me at the Table, so where you can see, I believe you did 2 playthroughs. I've done 1 so far. I really enjoyed it. You just move in and you be an orc. You do what orcs do best, and it is just incredible. I plan to bring this to Game of Palooza.
I feel like I must play this game.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's so much. Even the card play is a lot of fun, right? Where you have a build. I think you start off with 4. I can't remember, but 4 of them. Yeah. And so as you use those abilities, you just turn them over and if you have the action points to do it. How you upgrade, you get these things called BA points. It's a Saturday morning, so kids might be watching, but you get BA points. And with those points, you can upgrade your card. So there is you can upgrade, you can find items, you can equip things, you can just do so much fun things. And like the gameplay of how you do things is so amazing. The dice rolling is fun, where you can bypass somebody's block because you rolled a stronger attack and just hack them in the face. It is orc glory at its best. And I had written this game out because I was like, we haven't heard from this in like 3-4 years, so it's not going to work. 2, that this it just I was just like, when it delivers, it's probably not going to be what it is. It has the box that looks like it's from Hero Quest, so it's a play on that, so it might not be good. And so far, it hasn't disappointed. It is a fun game.
I just like the fact that it's a very orc game where you have plans and none of them ever work.
Yes, yes, yes.
You say orc or Bernd? I think that's
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the best parts. But the only thing I can see that I'd like to house rule at some point in the game is the amount of stuff that you can carry. I understand the amount of stuff in the hands and things, but when you're trying to upgrade items and stuff, like I could never
get enough materials.
I had enough materials, but I had to spread them out amongst the characters because I couldn't hold enough to hold the materials I needed to upgrade my stuff. But the cool thing is you can upgrade and level up during the game. It's not like, okay, at the end, we all get to pick a new skill. No. If you're going and you got the points, you can do it right there. So I think that's kind of a cool point to this game too.
Yeah, Kim, I plan to bring this to Game of Palooza. It's our Game of Palooza game that's coming up, and I know you're going to like it, so I may just be like, all right, I'm gonna leave this here for y'all to play on the channel because it's pure co-op and it's gonna be fun.
And it's a stealth game.
And it's just stealth, and it's a
kind of.
It's not stealth with me.
Well, I'll tell you right now. As you go forward, spoiler alert in Mission 3, you have to be at least somewhat stealthy, or it's not going to end well.
Or I could use my axe.
Well, I tried.
No, but it's a fun game. Kim, there's Viga. Viga is definitely in that game for you to play with one of the expansion characters. It's gonna be great.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Colin, you've got the next pick on this list, and that is Deliverance. And this one just happened to deliver for us just the other day. So,
oh, nice!
Wait,
you guys
just playing in Derek's head again.
I hear, yeah.
I
can't hear this game without I cannot hear the name of this game without thinking about that movie.
That's what a bunch of people said, which I still haven't seen this movie, so I don't know what this movie is.
Oh, I haven't seen either, Colin.
Yeah. Oh, he's telling me not to see it. Okay, I won't see it. All right, good to know.
Yep, banjo player. There you go.
I am impressed with this game. I'm impressed with. So Andrew's the designer, and he really wanted to put his faith into a certain game, which is really cool that you're doing that. But so many games that have some sort of Christian theme a lot of times the theme is first and the gameplay is second. And I feel like with this game, that is absolutely not the case. You can have no connection to the Christian theme and just enjoy being angels taking down demons. And the gameplay is fun. The character, the angels and how you level up with talents. You always have these choices when you're playing the skirmish mode. You have the choice of gaining a talent, which is a consistent ability, or these heavenly treasures, which is increases your stats, which then makes your basic attacks stronger, and then maybe gives you a one-time benefit. And how you play, where you defeat these demons, and then you always go against a big boss at the end. It's fun. It's really good. It's also quick. There's very minimal dice rolling, Derek, for you. It's only on skill checks, and those are generally just a 7+. You need to roll 7+ on 2 dice, and if you do that, you get to do little benefits. So I feel like the game play itself is super fun. It looks great on the table, especially with the acrylic standees. And then he added a campaign, and I wasn't sure if it needed a campaign because I played the skirmish mode as a prototype and I thought it was solid. But when I started playing the campaign, I was, oh, this is awesome, because he has a great way of helping you level up your character. He took ideas from Pandemic Legacy, for things that you could do to unlock, but it's not, it's fully replayable. So you'll have your own little sheet, and you gain experience, and you fill in bubbles, and you get to, upgrade your talents and grab maybe permanent heavenly treasures, which is really cool. And then the story's fun. So yeah, I really like it. I hope that people that are interested in the theme will really like it. And then even people who don't love the theme or aren't interested in the theme can still enjoy it as well, because I think it's just a solid game. So yeah, that was Deliverance.
Yeah, this game's good. I've only played the prototype so far because we only have one copy amongst us, and Colin has it right now. But when I did the prototypes, one of the things I really enjoyed was, like you said, the skill checks come in. But the skill checks are very similar to the way Sword and Sorcery did things. You're still going to do something.
Yes.
You do like 3 damage, but you roll the 7+, you get an extra damage and you gain a boon or something. It's like, I get some extra bonus things. So you're still doing things on your turn, which I think is a really important thing in games like this when it comes down to, did my turn matter? sometimes. I know we've talked about that sometimes on co-op chat. I think that's a really good system. I think that's great. And I love the way the angels level. And like you said, the 2 different paths. Like when I did the prototype, I tried to do 2 different paths. Like I had one of the guys only getting heavily treasured. He just came in just roaring into these basic attacks. And the other person, I loaded up all their skills and they're like standing back, like doing these awesome things. And it's like, and it really makes you feel like I love the feel of how powerful you feel like you become, and you're actually taking down these, like you said, huge demons and stuff like that. So this is a game that, like, when Colin and I both got it, because in case people don't know, we have a tendency to back we don't back them together. We usually back a game and then the other person give it a shot and one person give it a shot, and the games go back and forth. And right now I haven't had a chance to get it back from Colin yet to give it a shot myself. But if it's even a small upgrade from the prototype, it is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
We plan to bring this to the channel this coming week, actually, playthrough with Kim and I. So, because Kim hasn't played it yet, but I like this one a lot. The one thing I will add that you guys have talked about, I agree with what you guys are saying, but the one thing I really, really enjoyed is the abilities on each the angels you play. They're very unique, but the cool thing about it is there's a courage resource you have to manage. So some abilities will gain you courage, and some other abilities will you have to spend that courage. So you have to do certain abilities to do other abilities. And they kind of chain together, which is a really subtle and nice way to approach the game.
Yeah. Oh, and I've got to say, for a first-time designer, his rule book is really good. Yeah. I've read so many rule books that aren't good for first designers, right? They expect that you know things that you don't know because they've just played the game so much and they have a hard time separating that. Yeah. He did great. He's got the iconography, all makes total sense. Oh, this symbol means it's a free action, but that's still a free action. It's on my turn versus, hey, this is an anytime action. So I can even do it during my teammate's turn. And it's so simple. It makes sense. Playing it, I didn't feel like I had any questions playing it. And then for a first-time designer of a game, I think that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
Yep. Good choice. Good choice. Okay. Next person up for the hidden gem is Barrett, and I am not going to announce this game because I want Barrett to.
No. You're a horrible man.
Gotta say it.
It's okay. So this is my hidden gem. It's
Come on, it's the end of the year. You gotta do it. It's the end of the year. You gotta do it, man.
It's the Renaissance game. No, I was really surprised by Nova ATS Renaissance. It's funny because I think my most common comment on this video is,
you pronounce it wrong.
Help you out. This is how you pronounce this name. This is how you pronounce this. This is how you pronounce this. I pronounced every person's name wrong, apparently, in my playthrough.
What's different from normal, Baron?
Exactly. But beyond that, I did not, when I got this game, I was surprised at how little there was on this game when I got it. And started like looking out into the community as to what there is. The forums and stuff is a smaller community on it. The amount of videos out there aren't many. So I was really surprised by how much people hadn't really gone into this game. This game surprised me huge. The minis are really cool looking, but the gameplay I was super impressed by. It's not your average dungeon crawler. They make it pretty streamlined. There are some like weird, it is a like first time thing. It's a dungeon crawl, so there's always going to be a few things that come here and there, but I love the turn mechanic where it's that timepiece where you can really go all out, but then it's going to take you a little while to come back to your turn, as opposed to just like doing something small, and that gives you an ability to ITS Minzamouth. Thank you, Ryan.
But wasn't it Innsmouth?
In the mouth. All right. So, but I do like that system where, and then even the enemies, if they're real powerful enemies, they're going to take a while to get back to again too, because their turns are usually more powerful. The AI system, once you get the AI system, it's a little bit easier to do, but that took me a little while to fully grasp how to work that AI system. But overall, it did okay. I like the fact that you have one map. I've only played like one of the scenarios. I'm going to continue this playthrough, but it had like one map, and then you broke into this house, and then it went to these cards like this. So the way the story develops is you're either developing the game through story cards or through the story book. And they're both in the game at the same time, which is really cool because the cards themselves are going to help you laying out what's out there, giving you objectives, but also giving you new areas to go to outside of just big battle maps. So you have these like cards you can play now. So now I'm in the building, moving through the building on these cards and interacting with things in the cards. And then once I got done with the cards, it pulled me back into another battle map where these 3 other guys are, where I had to deal with them. So it's kind of cool how, so that I could just remove that whole other board and then just put the new board down. It's not like this big sprawling dungeon crawler that all of a sudden, next thing you know, you need like 3 tables in order to play, right? So, and the characters themselves, I love the fact that each of them have their own stat card, and then any abilities they have an extra ability card underneath them that lists all the abilities on that stat card. And so if I'm like, oh, I want to see if I can do this, so look at what's that do. Okay, oh, it takes me 2 time to do this, and it gives me an advantage on this attack. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I can do that. And then on top of that, you have items and stuff, just like a normal dungeon crawler. And every character had the one similarity to a lot of dungeon crawlers. Everybody has their own role. So like there is kind of like your tank, there's a magic user, there's kind of a thief, there are kind of thing is a medic type character. So you do have those like roles. Of course, there are a whole bunch of expansion characters that you can bring in that modify the roles a little bit. Instead of being a true tank, it's like a tank with like a support or something like that built in together. And as you go through it, you're going to upgrade your skills, which gives you more to do. And then as you get enough skills, then you can upgrade to a particular class. And all of a sudden you can pick your tree you're going down, as you would like a video game thing or something like that. So there's a lot of things in this game that I was not expecting that was going to be that were, and I didn't think it was going to all work together as well as it is. But this game, for some reason, I mean, this game I was debating about putting on as a game of the year so far, but I didn't because there's something that I enjoyed a little bit more, and I also don't think I've played enough of this game to give it the merit of game of the year. But be aware, this game may be coming back again next year as that, hey, something you played last year that you really enjoyed. So that's the deal. Sorry I'm missing all the comments.
Nope.
No,
It's all
you're
good.
good,
It's
man.
all good. It's all
I'm
good.
sure they're all making fun of the way I can't say things.
No one would
or judging people's height either.
There you go.
Have
so
I hit like 7-foot status for you yet, or am I still in the
Close. 11.
6'11"?
So I was really again, just to say, so for those of you that don't know, I polo a lot and I have a tendency to ramble a lot, so I always do a recap at the end. So to recap, I enjoy the way the game mechanics work, and I really think the story so far has been pretty exciting in this game, and I like the character development and the way they actually have like Colin was just saying, he likes having the like knowing like, hey, here's the iconography, easy. All the abilities are listed right there for you. It's like easy to play. And so there you go. Oh, it's a D8 system, which is something I normally don't play either. And not only that, the D8s not only have numbers, they have symbols that activate different abilities. So you roll a 1, that still activates an ability maybe on one of your guys, which is kind of neat. Okay, so to recap my recap.
Oh, Baron, you're awesome. You are awesome.
Okay, that's my hidden gem.
Okay, moving on. The next game on the list, I'll be mine.
If you get a chance to try it, give it a shot.
Will do. So next game is Valor and Villainy is my hidden gem. Ludwig's
Oh, sure,
Labyrinth.
you get an easy game to say.
Ludwig's Labyrinth? Yes. Very difficult to spell, by the way. Ludwig, especially. So this game is awesome. I love this game. This one is a campaign, a replayable campaign, and also one-shots. And you have both options in here. And we did the full campaign. I think we did show one-shot on the channel.
I think so.
Yeah, so
That's
but
true.
this is very much a dungeon crawl through a maze thing, and with tons of loot to level up, and you can level up your characters different ways. You have different skills, so you can. And the fun thing is, you could turn a barbarian into a magic user in this game. It's very, very possible. Like, it is open world and how you want to build each character each time, and there's so much leveling up. You're leveling up constantly, getting loot. And the other thing I really like about this is how the enemies are managed, because the enemies, there's no health to manage on the enemies except for the boss. The enemies either are full health, wounded, or dead. And it's just so nice to be able to manage it easy. The other game that does that is Gears of War. I love how they approach this that way, and it's in here as well. So, big fan of this one. Love Valor and Villainy.
This would also be my answer if in my brain it was hidden. But he talked about it so much that it didn't even occur to me to think of this one. So, second on here.
Yeah, the minis on that are also very detailed.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah, lots of minis for this one. The heroes and the bosses are minis for it, and very nice production with 3D boards and everything. Yeah, there you go. There's one of them.
It's not painted.
No, Colin's working on that.
I've been working on it for a very long time because I was playing with my kids and I was like, oh, I'm going to paint these. And then, yeah, anyways, long story short, I found other games to play with the kids. They had a hard time with this one for whatever reason. I was actually talking to Steve about that because I really think this game is cool, but my kids, it just didn't connect with them as well. But this mini did. Nathan loved this mini. He thought this is the coolest mini ever.
Yeah.
So that's why it hasn't been painted.
Yep. No,
Cool.
but really, really good game. I had a blast with this one too.
Yeah. Speaking of having a blast with, you've got the last one on the list, Kim.
Oh, okay. Yeah, little, super simple. You think, oh, it's just Carcassonne.
But this
no,
is not normal Carcassonne.
it's not. It's the
Myths.
Myths of Carcassonne. So
Yeah.
now it's cooperative, and you got little ghosts, and the little graveyards do everything. So this also could have been like a, yeah, it was under the radar because it's like Steve says, hey, let's play this. I'm like, really? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I had a lot of fun, the cooperative version. If I would not go back and play the original Carcassonne then, I would always bring this one out.
I agree. This one replaces Carcassonne for sure. Not only because it's cool, but just because it's more interesting decisions in it. And I just played this the other day with our son, I think just yesterday even. So it's still a seeing play for us. Now, I will say the lower levels, because there's like 6 levels in the game, and the rules change a little bit depending on what level you play. The lower levels won't last very long. You'll play it and you kind of move on. Level 5 has been the sweet spot for this one. It is challenging, it is interesting, it makes it really fun. And then level 6 is probably just really, really hard. So, so if you do play this one, I would definitely play the lower levels just to get familiar with the rules, because the rules are a little takes a little bit to get a hang of it, I would say. But once you get to level 5, play that and then see if you like it from there. So
No, I think if you like Carcassonne and you like cooperative games,
yeah, no brainer.
100%.
No brainer. Now this does still feel like Carcassonne. So that should be said. Like, it doesn't feel like something different. It still feels like Carcassonne, but it's Carcassonne
But-
plus plus.
That's why I said if you like Carcassonne.
Right.
Because if you
Definitely.
don't, then don't play this game.
Exactly. And Jen likes this one. So yeah, it's a good one. It's
Yeah.
good choice, Kim.
Steve taught me that one at Gen Con, and I enjoyed it so much I bought it and
Mhm.
played it with my kids, and they totally get it. So and they like it. I'd say Nathan likes it more than Connor, but Nathan loves cleaning out the ghosts. He'll get the
Yeah.
ghosts. He'll take care of the ghosts before we do any other things. Nathan, that might be no. Okay, we'll just put it there. We'll just put it there. Get rid of the ghosts. Make that another lake or whatever it is. You know, not lake. It's fog with the fog connection, and yeah. But it's fun.
Colin, do your kids like only cooperative, or do they like competitive as well?
So good question. I would say the 7-year-old likes the co-op way more. The 10-year-old will do both.
Okay.
But I think because Nathan feels like Connor, who's 10, will beat him in a competitive game all the time, right? 'Cause
Okay.
these 3, right? And my 3-year-old, he just likes to play with the miniatures. But yeah, I would say it's pretty even. Overall, Connor is really good with either one, but Nathan leans a little towards co-ops.
Okay. I had a game to recommend for you, so that's why I was like, it depends though, but it's a competitive game. It's a game that I play with my son.
Yeah,
And he loves it. It's called Project L.
Project L. Actually, Brent just got that game. Remember?
Good.
Yes. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
all
Your
it's a-
kids will love it. It's Tetris.
Okay. Oh, they'll love that. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
have the
for
same
that.
issue at our house. There's the 14-year-old will actually enjoys more, I think, more competitive games than cooperative games, but the 11-year-old will not play like competitive games that are like bigger than like Uno or Spotted or things like that, because he just the advantage will always go to the 14-year-old, and he has a tendency to pick on the 11-year-old sometimes.
Okay.
So we stick to cooperative when we do a full family, but then we'll play games with Bennett as more cooperative type games with Bennett. But then if really want to play games, we usually pretty competitive. He's 14. He wants to win.
That's
You'll cheat, yeah.
Oh, he also cheats all the time.
But yeah, the one thing she
The
mentioned about
14-year-old cheats.
Oh.
That's awesome. Oh, okay, Project L. I gotta ask Brent to let us
Yeah,
borrow.
And then I get then while you're not looking, I'm gonna probably mug you.
Brent, I don't know what happened. I don't know where it went.
Oh no!
It's gone.
Yeah.
Why is there a playthrough of it on Baron's channel? Don't know. I must have got a conversation.
I actually played Project L last night with my son and my girlfriend, and she always seems to beat me at this game. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I still have fun losing. It's still a lot of fun.
That says a lot.
Really fun game.
That says a
say
lot. You have
I
fun
think it's
losing, then
actually-
you know it's a good game.
That's
Yeah.
one of the most important things for a competitive game for me is that you have fun even when you lose, because everybody loses except for one. So if it isn't fun for anybody else but the winner, then why play it, right? Yeah. So cool.
Okay, let's move on to the next category, the expansion of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll run
I
through
could
this.
probably name.
I'm excited for this one.
All right, place your bets,
It's-
everybody.
Here we go. We'll start off with Derek. Oh, that's not the expansion. Sorry. Moving on.
Carcassonne. I've
Oh,
never even played that
Carcassonne,
game.
huh?
Sorry, I forgot to click the slide. So Derek has Call of Killforth.
Killforth.
Yes.
I mean, were
I
you
could have called you that
surprised?
one.
Were you surprised by
No,
not
that
at
that was
all.
gonna be my vote. Don't worry. I think
This-
everybody's gonna name everybody's on this one.
I played this game yesterday on stream, and I went up against the epic mode, which was taking all the veterans and the overlord, and I got demolished, but it was incredible. So basically it's you take on 4 ancients at once, and I did that in solo mode.
Well, how did you even what?
I beat one.
Does that mean every time you're drawing a card, you're putting out plot cards?
Yep.
Yep.
Every night card is a plot card.
It was insane. You should go watch it.
And I was and it was still fun because the bad guy rolled 7 dice. I rolled for him, and I rolled 6 sixes on him.
Yes.
But it's a fun game. Killforth is by far the greatest series. Gloom will always have a place at my number 1, and I don't think anything can move it. And it's not, oh, well, you got to play this game. I think there's more sentimental reason to why it will never shift. So I always look to, okay, well, what's under that? And that's the stuff that changes out. Call of Killforth is more of Gloom of Killforth, is more of Shadows of Killforth, but it's with a pirate theme. So you're sailing, you have a ship, you're sailing the seas, you're doing different things, but it is still Killforth at its heart, and it's the final Killforth. It's the culmination of it. Like, so now that when you put them all together, you get the fantasy, you get the Pacific South Islander and Asian theme, and then and then with this one you get the pirate theme, and you put it all together, and it's just, you can have a massive game of Killforth. So, which I want to do. So we'll see how it shakes out. But this was my expansion of the year. Surprise, surprise.
Good choice. Good choice. Not
What a
surprised at
great
all.
choice. What a great choice.
Speaking of not surprised at all, Colin will go next with one of his expansions of the year, and knowing how much he loves this game, Unsettled.
Yeah, I could have told you that one too. I'm 2 for 2 so far. I'm going to be 3 for 3 here in a second.
I will say I do have 2 on this list, because
You
the
have
other
2.
one I got to talk about too, because Monica and I finished that one last
Yep.
night. So, but okay. I mean, I if anybody knows me, they know how much I love Unsettled. I love puzzle games, and I love space themes, and I also love games that aren't always about fighting but are cooperative, because that's something that you don't find as many of those games out there. Most of the cooperative games that I've played have a lot of fighting in them. And so what I love about Unsettled is it's about exploration, but it's a puzzle too. And so it's, to me, it's like the best of everything. And the expansion provided 3 new planets and mods that you can put in for any of the other planets that you're doing, where you can modify your specific explorer, or whatever you want to call them, and give them either fascinations or I can't remember the other one, specializations. And it's so cool. It just gives you more choices that you can have every time you're playing the game. So I can go back to the original games and play that and use those modular pieces, and you can put them all together. You can keep them separate. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, and these 3 new planets, one of them isn't even a planet. It's on your ship.
Yeah, I love that one. Blackout. I love Blackout.
Oh my gosh. I can't get enough of this game. I play this game all the time. I think I'm at like 60 plays of this game itself. That's how much I've played it. So Unsettled is wonderful.
Yeah, Blackout's good because your lovely little friend is not your friend.
It's so lovely. Luna, you like Luna until that one. I can't. I still haven't even played it. So I've played the first one and the third one, the expansion ones. I haven't played Blackout. I've been saving it to have my first time on the channel, but I'm really excited for it. Okay, so that's Unsettled. Can you show my other one?
Of course.
Okay, so Monica and I just finished, and oh my gosh, you guys! So we played Role Player Adventure. Actually, I'm using Role Player Adventure right now to hold my computer up high enough. We played it and we enjoyed it, but it was too easy, right? It was way too easy. So it was mostly just a story, but we still enjoyed the story. They have figured out how to make Legacy or Legendary, which makes it harder, a little bit better. Now, I will say we still won most of our challenges and most of our fights, even on Legendary mode in the new campaign for the expansion. It's 7 new chapters. Great writing as always. I loved the NPCs a lot in this game. I think actually I like the NPCs even better in the expansion than I did in the base game. And you have to make these decisions when you don't want to do them. And I love that I had that connection enough for characters that I'm not even playing, but that you get their flavor in the story so well and you like them so much. And you may not be going towards that faction and things are happening. And Monica like, but I want to do that for our faction, but I want to do this because I like that character. And it feels really real life-ish in that way. And I love that. And this isn't really a spoiler. I'm not going to say it. Never mind. There's just a really cool thing at the end.
Go play this game.
Yeah, I loved the original. I played through all of Role Player Adventures. My only grievance is this game is that it's not accessibility compatible, which means I am colorblind-ish, right? I can't tell the difference between blues and purples. And so I actually, when I did the stream of playing all of Role Player Adventures, the core, I had to actually have the chat tell me what the colors were because I couldn't discern the difference.
Wow.
And I think that continues on in this. So I plan to play it. I'm super pumped. I love the story. I love the gameplay. Like you said, it's easier, but I think it's easier because it's supposed to just be a fun romp. But my huge challenge is that accessibility problem. If you have any problem discerning colors, this game's going to be a challenge.
Well, and Derek, I would recommend, unless you like to have it be on the easier end, start right away in Legendary mode with the expansion. It does a great job of making it just a little bit harder. You still, like I said, we still mostly won every challenge and every skill, but we had to work for it. And then what happens is after you rest 2 or 3 times, you have to actually lose a card from your deck permanently to rest. And so all of a sudden we started buying cards purely to just be able to lose them. And so, it was starting to use our resources just for that. And that was cool. I like that. It gave us more choices and everything. And so, yeah, I would recommend starting on Legendary mode if you want it to be a little bit more of a challenge.
Okay.
You also have a hand limit because I don't know about you, but when you were playing the game itself, the core set, I had like 30 some cards, right? I could change anything to anything. And so you have a hand limit based upon whatever your specific skill type is. So if I'm green, then my intelligence would say, and my intelligence level was 6, then I can hold 6 plus a certain amount of cards.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, moving on to the next game on our list, and that's going to be Baron's choice.
Let's see if you guys can guess it. Oh, what do you know? Kingdom Death Monster, Gambler's Chest. I almost put this as Game of the Year because it technically is. I mean, it's almost not an expansion. If you didn't need a few things from the core box, you could just play this thing out of the box. So this is something that Poots has been working on for, 103 years. It shipped this year. We got the game. I started looking through it. Oh my gosh, what they've changed in this or added to the game is so cool. And there is a whole campaign you can play in this box. And it's really cool because you get these philosophies that you can develop. But in order to develop them, you have to do exactly kind of what it is in the battle. Like if we take a damage, okay, you can feel in one of your boxes. When you get high enough on this certain thing, then you can gain the new part of that philosophy, and it gets better and better. So instead of showing up to the fight with 1 hunt experience, what this does is I've noticed it takes out the fighting arts and replaces them with this like whole philosophy system. So instead of just having a fighting art that happens all the time, you have to try to strive to get these things leveled up. So it's another aspect of the game that you're working, trying to, like, another resource you're trying to actually improve on. And then you get these there's like these cognitive cognitions where as you defeat the monsters, you're going up this level of cognitive cognitions that are going to unlock things for your settlement. So unlike the original game where people could just like, I'm just going to beat up the level 1 lion over and over and over and over and over, just gain the resources, build up enough things to hopefully get through the bosses and get to the end. If you keep beating up, your cognitive cognition doesn't go up. So it encourages you again to fight these harder monsters that could potentially ruin your survivors, maim, a little maiming here and there, not the end of the world. You can go into a battle without arms. You can still kick them, right?
Have they gotten rid of the one card that breaks your soul every time you start the settlement phase?
No.
Oh God.
Murder is still there. No, not only that, when you build your settlement deck, it actually has a whole new set of settlement cards, except for like 4, and one of them is murder. It's like,
we defeated this lion. We are powerful. Oh, the weakest person just killed the strongest person.
And he added a whole bunch more to the hunt system now, which is really good, because the hunt system before was just roll a die pretty much the entire time. Now they have a whole nother separate potential small encounter that you have to deal with called the Bone Eaters. That as the game unlocks, it becomes a harder and harder encounter. And once you defeat them, you might only have 3 survivors left. One of them might have died. You can choose to actually fight and to like scale it, you can choose to fight the person you're going after at 1 level lower, but it costs you, there's a little bit of a cost to do it. But that way you're not going in, because you might only barely be able to beat a level 2 white lion with like your full party, and all of a sudden you fought the Bone Eaters who killed one of your guys and somebody's already gone insane or something. You're like, crap, I really only got 2.5 guys here. I think I'm going to lower that difficulty down 1. Not only that, of course, you're not fighting white lions anymore. Now you got crocodiles and smog singers. You got a whole bunch of new people. And of course, there's going to be all these things coming out, expansions and everything that he's shipping for this game. It's a never ending. This, like I said before, this is a life game. You could only own this game and probably really enjoy it enough that you wouldn't need another game for a while. And this expansion just enhances that again. And you can take anything from this game, because he's got a whole tier system now where it's like, okay, these are the level 1 tier monsters. Which ones do you want to fight? These are level 2 tier monsters. Which ones do you want to put in your campaign? So you can mix and match your campaign to whatever you want to do. You like the philosophy system? Great. Throw the philosophy system. You like the fighting art system? Great. Throw the fighting art system and throw the philosophy system out. You like cognitive conditions? Keep that. That's fine. There's a scout that comes with you to these things. You don't like the scout? Don't play with the scout. Scout can go out. That's fine. You can bring, so when you can add, you can use whatever you want now, instead of just, here's the Kingdom Death core monster system. You have to play with all the parts of it. He's got this system now where you can insert any monsters to wherever you want to as different tier level monsters. It's super good. This guy, I mean, he's like, I think we've talked about it before. He's like one of the only publishers I've ever seen, or producers of games, that gets an auto pass every time he says, I'm so sorry, guys, I'm still working on this. We're pushing this out another 1.5 years. And people are like, great, sounds perfect. Push it. Because what he's doing is making this like the perfect experience once he gets it, because he's doing all that testing, all that things there. And once it gets out, he again is listening to his community and finding out, oh, hey, this monster nobody's really fighting this monster. We have to figure out a way to make this monster as important to fight as this other monster. So he's improving some of the things from that monster to make it more of a viable monster to fight. So it's super good. It's Kingdom Death Monster. I think I've said it over and over. It's Kingdom Death Monster, man. It's the game. And I know, sadly, Colin will probably never play it, but it's the game of games. It's an experience.
You can't say I never would play it. I play with you at Gen Con, and I die.
That is news.
So you play it, that's Kingdom Death.
Yeah, that's Kingdom Death. I played it. I did 3 rounds. You had a javelin. I hit the line with it, but apparently my critical wasn't actually a critical. It was instead actually roll a die, and if I roll badly, I die. And
it's a fun game. Baron, I call that the Blizzard effect. The company called Blizzard that made World of Warcraft, they are the same. Well, they were the same, where before they got acquired by Activision, if they said, we're working on this game, sorry, it's going to be 3 years, the community would be like, sure, no problem. It'll be great when it comes out.
Okay, moving on to more expansions. So this one I have to list. This is one of mine just because I mentioned earlier, but because it was on my biggest surprise, it has to be Uprising Titans of the First Age. This is the expansion that added the Advanced Druids, so highly, highly recommend this. However, I won't get into the well. Actually, I'll mention this another thing with this too. The two factions they added in here are very unique. Like one's a pirate faction, which is really fun because like you're sailing around the outside of the map, like shooting arrows everywhere. It's very very cool. The other ones is you're playing as gods and you're literally eating the world as you power up. It's really really cool. So very unique, very awesome. There's nothing in this expansion I didn't like. Put it that way. So, all right. But because I kind of mentioned earlier, I do have a second option. I'll jump that right now. If you know me, it's probably not a surprise, but Nature Incarnate Spirit Island expansion was absolutely fantastic. I
I'm 3 for
love
3
this.
so far in guessing what your expansions are going to be.
Awesome.
So yeah, this one's great. I don't know what else to say about this one. The new spirits are more complex, I would say. Not like drastically, but they are a step up for sure. But they are so fun because now you have a lot of them have this Incarna piece, which represents the center of it's a special presence basically for your spirit. And they do really fun stuff. Like Kim, you played the giant mountain turtle.
I did play Mountain Turtle.
And it just runs around and stomps people wherever that incarnate is. And it's just so fun. And I played one that had I liked a lot. It had a void, a black hole. So you like just like absorb all the towns and cities and people into the black hole, and they disappear. Never see it again. So like I know I'm the worst, but it's just so fun. Oh my gosh, I love this. Big fan. Spirit
Yeah,
Island.
well, I had to give you a hard time because I looked at his list beforehand
Yeah.
and this wasn't on it. And I'm like, did you forget about something? Because I'm like, how would you not put this on your list?
Yeah,
So.
yeah, great game. Big fan of this one. Okay, and speaking of, if you guys have your bingo cards, Kim's next. Probably can guess what it is.
It's Marvel
Yep,
United.
Yep.
Spider-Geddon.
4 for 4?
Yep.
More.
Yep. I can't get enough. Just keep it coming. It's super quick. That's always a nice thing for me. And when a game it plays quickly, we can, half hour, maybe an hour. Our son loves it, and I like Spider-Man, so this was a win for me. Super easy decision.
This was a really nice package too. I feel like they did a great job with a variety of characters and villains. Like all of them are really fun in different ways. So easier. Like if you were jumping into Marvel United for the first time, this is a slight complexity jump up with the equipment, but it's not much. Like it would be one of the first contents I would recommend if you want to try United. So.
Yeah, I still remember Gen Con. Steve and I sat down and we played, I think it was Anti-Venom, and we both looked at each other and was like, this game's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, this is exactly what it lives up to the hype. It's amazing.
I thought you were going to tell the story how you sent the wrong people to the wrong place.
When did I do that?
When you said, Colin and I, go get this game instead of splitting you guys up and putting your guys, because we had 2 people that had direction sense and 2 people that didn't have direction sense.
Oh my gosh.
This direction sense got
Wait, we
Spider-Geddon.
went to the right place. You went to the wrong place.
We went totally the wrong place. So,
Totally
if, like you
wrong.
would have sent me and Derek to like the Spider-Verse universe, we would have both got a copy. And if you'd have sent Steve and Colin to the
We could have gone Sky Team.
Sky King,
Yeah,
we got
Sky
Sky
Team.
King or whatever. Oh, where is it? I think it's over that corner over there. Well, nobody's going that way. Oh, it might not be
Yeah,
over
there was
there.
no one there. I don't know why. There was nobody over there, Bear.
No, and of course, we get to where we're standing, and all of a sudden we get a picture from Terrence. Dude, bro, I'm like 4 from the
Yeah,
front.
I already have the game. Where are you guys? We're like, we haven't
Like,
sold the line yet.
No, we're wrapped around behind the 34th dice thing we saw on the way in.
I think Sky Team would be an interesting game that I'd like to see Steve and Kim play. It is co-op.
Yeah, I'm
I would
passively
super
looking for a
pump
copy
Steve.
of that one. Yes.
We
Okay.
love it. I actually got it for Christmas from Monica and we've now played it 15 times already.
Oh,
Awesome.
wow.
Gone
Awesome.
through all the green and all the yellow challenges. We're on to the red ones. We
Yeah,
love it.
I think it's something we would enjoy for sure.
and it's fast, man. I mean, Kim, you talking about Marvel United? It just seems like this would be a game you'd enjoy. It's fast, quick. You've got fun decisions with the dice. Yeah, definitely recommend it.
I just want to see the part because they can't talk to each other, right? So landing that plane without them communicating will be incredible.
It'll be awesome. It's awesome. When it comes together, you feel so cool, even though all you're doing is placing 4 dice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
Well, if anyone has a copy and they want to loan it out, you can
Yeah. I'm going to just go ahead and update the category real quick. So, because someone already has this as their game of the year for solo, Derek. There we go. Derek.
This is my solo game of the year. It is story time. I have when the first Marvel United came out, I was like, it's chibi. No, didn't look into it, just kind of passed on it. Steve was like, you got to play this game. So then the second season came out, and I was like, yeah, but it's more. What's gonna change? He's like, okay, you got to play this game. So I played it, and I played on Tabletop Simulator. And from that first playthrough, I ended up playing 30 games that day.
That day.
And then from the rest of the week, I just kept playing it to where I was like, okay, I need to pick this game up. And I went on the aftermarket. I went on the aftermarket and I was able to find the stretch goal box. I paid more for it than I should, but I did get the stretch goal. I got the core game and everything. And then I went to First Gen Con, and Family Time Games had everything. So guess what I got? Everything. And they were selling it at Kickstarter price, which was pretty cool. And so I picked up everything, and then we started Dom's campaign, playing between our channels, and it was just this game's so incredible. And so I immediately was all in on multiverse, and I've actually created, like Steve said, I've created a lot of homebrews of this that I would love for you all to play and try it out to see how it goes, and it's just going to be incredible.
Yep.
So game of the year, solo mode. Yes, definitely.
Now you
When you
have
say solo-
another
sorry.
actual solo game on this list, though.
Hold on. What were you saying, Colin?
I'm sorry. I just want to know, when you play solo, do you play the actual solo mode? or
No,
you
I
just
play three-handed. I play
okay.
three-handed solo.
Yeah. I think that's what most people do, right? Not the one hand with 3 different
Yeah.
characters, right? Okay.
I-
Did they say they changed that though? Have they changed?
They did. I played it. It's good, but it also increases setup time because you're going through and you're picking specials from different heroes, which is really cool because you can combo together. But then, like putting the game away and you pulling out specific cards from it, I don't know.
And you're
just play
putting it back.
three-handed.
Yep. Just play 3 heroes. It's so easy to
Yeah,
play the 3 heroes.
exactly.
It almost didn't need a solo mode. Yeah.
Yeah. The three here, they're easy to play. The game mechanics are tight. Every villain has been different. Like, you can imagine how many villains are in this game. There are a lot, and there are a lot coming, and they still haven't put every Marvel villain in the game, but every villain feels so different and so fun.
For sure.
It's just great. It's great.
So this next game is also Derek's solo game, and this is probably of no surprise if you've been following his channel.
Earthborn Rangers. Yeah. This game crept in. I call it a solo game because I did play it true solo, and I played it too. I completed the story of the game. I completed the game. And I still only saw like a minute fraction of the game, even though I completed it. So there is huge replayability in this game. The art is beautiful, the gameplay is calming. It's not supposed to be you go out and you just kill, like Colin was saying before. There's so many games where you go and you kill a bunch of monsters and do all this different stuff. This game is truly exploration. You do what you want when you want, and it's just amazingly fun. I believe that if they keep up with this game, it will rival a lot of the LCGs that are out there today. But that's if they keep up with what they've dropped now. So it's incredible.
Yep.
I would say one caveat would be from what I've seen, I've only played 4 games of this now, but the cards in Earthborn Rangers aren't as cool as the cards in some of the LCGs. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense.
Well,
What
say more. Say more about it.
I just mean that the actions are a little bit more basic than what I'm thinking of when you think of Arkham and you think of Lord of the Rings, right? I mean, just ask Steve about all of his ridiculous decks he's made with Lord of the Rings. I mean, they are so much fun. Gloin, who could take 100 damage and would just go up to 100 attack, right? Or make 100 resources. And so my only thing is if they're going to compete in an LCG world, they're going to need to have, I think, more interesting player cards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think they're positioned for that. I think because this is their first outing, you're just seeing
It's a core set.
core. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just seeing core.
Yep.
As more things come out, if they choose to follow this path, as more things come out, I think you'll see that diversity in the Rangers.
Yeah.
Because more Ranger cards leads to those combos and those decision makings and deck building. Because you can deck build with it as much as you like. It's just you're limited right now to just the core set of cards. So if you're going to look at it from the LCG perspective, compare it to Lord of the Rings core or Arkham Horror core. And if you see them aligning in terms of that decision space, then they're doing a good job. Right?
Yep.
A lot of potential for this one. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, good game.
Okay, Colin has a solo game he picked out, and I'm very, very happy to see this one on your list, Colin, personally.
Oh my gosh. I love Rock. This game, I could just play. I put it as my favorite for solo because I have felt like if I play it with more than 2 to 3 people, because of certain effects that can happen in the game where you can get knocked down, you lose 2 of your actions or something. I have found my best experience with this game has been solo because I do solo managing either 2 or 3 characters, and I love it. I love the mission base. Just put it down on the table. I love killing bugs. My kids just love. I mean, the guy who can just keep shooting over and over and over again by spending his ammo. Nathan never has ammo. Nathan, he just, that's all I'm saying. You know. Oh yeah, let me shoot that one. Let me shoot. Are you sure you want? Yes, yes, yes. You know. But it's so fun. I've never even played the video game. But the board game adaptation is great, right? So you've got these dwarves, you're delving. I love the idea that you can actually make your own paths too, right? So as you're going and doing stuff, you can make a path to get back to the chopper. Yeah. Anyways, it's a great game. It's a great game. I enjoy it. Lots of fun dice chucking. And I personally enjoy it the most, either solo or maybe just one other player. But yeah, that's why it's my favorite solo of the year.
I know you said you multi-hand this one, but have you actually played solo with Bosco?
I have not. I've only ever played multiple players. I
So-
like their abilities too much. That's the hard part.
Yeah, the abilities are great. So there is an actual solo mode in this where you are playing as a single dwarf, and there's a robot, Bosco, who follows you around and helps you out, and he's really good. It works out really well, and with that mode as well, I will say.
Okay, good to know. I maybe should just give it a shot because
Yep.
I just love their abilities, right? I love the dwarves' abilities, so it's hard for me. I'm like, oh, I want to play with just these 2.
Well, Bosco's kind of fun because you can send him on like missions, like, "Hey, go fetch," and you go dig that out of the wall. He'll like drop things on the ground, so you have to go pick up later. But he's got rockets and stuff, so it's fun. It's good.
Steve, I am highly considering like taking this game from you so I can paint it for you. The minis are just too beautiful to not be painted. I'm really considering like, hey, let me grab the heroes and I will paint them for you because they are so good.
The miniatures are great in this game.
Yeah, they are.
Really high quality. The whole production of the game is really high quality. So
Everything. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, moving on to solo game, all next, and this is one that might be a surprise for people. We'll see, but this one I enjoyed quite a bit, and that is Voidfall. I will list this as solo, not co-op, because I feel like co-op it's not as good of an experience. But solo, this game works really well because there's just everything is integrated. Like every decision you make in this game. This is another 4X game, space base. But when I make this action like combat, conquest, if I want to invade an area, I need these resources. But in order to get these resources, I need to play production. But in order to play production, I need to spend some of my military or whatever to do this. And it's like, and in order to get more military to do that, I have to do this other thing. So like you have this chain of interactions that are out there. And so it has a really great decision space because of that. But that's also why it's better solo, because I am looking at these cards and I'm just mulling over all the decisions and trying to plan out my whole turn. And if you're playing this co-op, that's a lot of downtime potential. A lot of downtime. I mean, granted,
Well,
everyone's doing the same thing, but
You're also trying to explain it to me 3 times over. So
it's hard to learn. It's
a
difficult.
mind clash game. It's a mind
it's
clash
difficult to
game.
learn. So it's
I have a card for you. I backed the Turksy promo game found thing that he did that came with a tile for Voidfall that has your name on it, sir.
Oh, sweet.
So that will be coming your way.
Awesome. Yeah, so this game, really enjoyed it. This is one I will be definitely pulling out in the future and playing it solo quite a bit. And we'll try to play again sometime. But
well, thanks, dear.
yes, it's hard. It's hard to teach. I haven't found a good way of teaching this one because it's just the iconography is a lot.
Well, that's what got me on it was
it's a lot.
You know, I said I want easy things sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you feel if you want easy, Mind Clash is not for you.
yeah. It just might not be your game. It's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Steve, do you feel that you want to try another Mind Clash game, or do you feel that this is where you're kind of hitting? Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I've played Anachrony. They're Mind Clash, right?
Yes.
Yes, I played that one before, and so I mean, I've enjoyed their games, but for me, most of their games aren't co-op, right?
Right.
And so if there's another co-op Mind Clash, yeah, definitely, I'll look into it. But,
yeah, they're Euros aren't usually co-op. They're more point chase.
Right.
Who gets the highest VP or whatever to get it. So, but the reason why I say that is because they have another slew of games that their games are so. Like people who like Euros will find something they like in Mind Clash's library, but it's heavy Euro. So don't get a Mind Clash game saying, "Oh, this will be a light play, bring to the table at any time and play." You're gonna need table space. You're gonna need brain power extreme.
For sure.
But the Turksy formula has been tried and true with the Euro community. With the Eurogaming community, he seems to be the Hideo Kojima of solo Euro. So, but if you are interested, like I said, I have others I can rattle off for you to try, but it's up to you.
Sure. Okay, that is Game of the Year. So I know
I didn't give you one of those, Steve. I forgot to.
That's okay.
But mine would have been Kingdom Death Monster again, just because nobody will play it with me.
Ouch! That hurt a little bit, Baron. We might have to just do that together at some point, just to play.
Maybe a Monday, not even streaming it, just so you could give it a shot. But yeah, my wife will play with me ever since she died in childbirth, and she's not a big fan of the theme. So I'm soloing this one.
I would play it with you. I would play it with you at if I live close by or on TTS. I play with you.
All right. When I win the lottery, I'll fly you out every week.
Sounds like play.
There we go. Somebody give me the ticket, please. I need the lottery ticket.
Yeah. No, and I don't play board games solo. Nope. So I was like, well, City Skylines 2. That's that's my solo game.
Kim, I need to introduce you to Factorio. You're missing out on a beautiful game.
I got to finish watching the rest of your plays because I did buy it. I have that game. It's on the list.
I feel really scared, but the solo game I want to play so bad is that Mr. President. But I'm so scared that I feel like I need to find a room for it.
5 hours.
And just even have it set up for like a year.
From what I believe Jason played it, and for what he said that it's 4 years to play the game. You play a game 4 years. Each year is 5 hours.
Yeah, so it's like I need to have this set up somewhere in my house where nobody can touch it for like a year. It just stay set up for a year.
I mean, it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So good.
Meaning just not so long. I mean, that's the hard part, right? If you don't have a place you can set it up, because I've actually thought the same thing, Barry. I think it's such a unique, cool theme, but I just can't get over the fact of there's no way I'm going to be able to play a game that long. I have sitting up. Right?
The banhammer just
came down.
The banhammer.
I'm going to get it there and I'll drop it off at your house. How about that?
Colin, the sign's still up. I'm not allowed to take it down. For those of you that don't know, Colin brought some games over on Tuesday. He brings
Some
games
games
every
it
once
was
in a
an
while.
entire carload of games.
Carload
I think it
of
was
games.
23 boxes.
And
of
I
games.
told Robin before he came, I go, Colin's going to bring some stuff. She's like, no. And then she left for a little while. I'm like, I know where she's going. She wrote this giant note and posted on the garage door. It said, you are not allowed in if you have big boxes. Like, no one's allowed in.
I just closed my eyes and opened the door. That way I couldn't see it.
She was also referring to like the mailman and the UPS guy and the Colin guy. Everybody with big boxes, not allowed in.
Well, Robin just said yes, I think, on the I think actually yes. So I'll get Mr. President Baron. I'll bring it over your way.
Oh
That'd
my
be
gosh.
great.
Yeah. No,
If you don't have it, I can ship it to you for if you want to play it. I have it.
I want to play it. I just don't know if I have the time to play it.
Yeah,
That's
I will get. One day you might get an email or a message or you'll get a notification from the 32 different things I have you on, and that'll say, "I'm ready for it, man."
Yeah. See, Robin told Colin no. She didn't tell me no, and it's
That's
too late.
right.
We'll take back. We'll take back.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, dang it. Now it says it.
All right, sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
We got 2 more categories to go through. So now we're on to the big one, Game of the Year. So we talked about solo specifically. Now we're moving on to actual Game of the Year. And we'll start us off with Derek with his Game of the Year, which should be, surprise, surprise, Marvel United.
Yep.
Did I screw this up?
Game of the Year, definitely. It wins. I've gone through this already. It wins hands down. I'm sorry. Come on, and just the creators just they brought it home with this one. It's incredible. I don't know if it's still hard to find, but it's if you can get your hands on it, definitely pick it up. It's an amazing addition to the Marvel United world, and it's just fun. It's a lot of fun.
Excellent game. Good choice.
I support that.
Mm-hmm. We might be going through this kind of fast because there are some duplicates on here. So,
Yeah.
So we'll jump over to Colin with his Game of the
I know
Year,
what this one is.
which was mentioned already.
Yep.
Kinfire.
Yes.
Oh, I got it wrong. I got it
Oh,
wrong.
Baron.
I was thinking specific co-op. I've played this 28 times now co-op this year. When I looked at my list, so I tracked my plays, I played this 28 times co-op. And my 2 kids and myself, my 2 older kids, we're playing through a whole campaign. I played it at Gen Con with Steve and Barrett and just had a great time. We did streaming a little bit with Barrett and I, had a great time. So I actually thought when I went through my co-op games, this was my number 1 of the year this year.
Yep.
Was Fire. I don't think we need to talk about it more. We've talked about it enough, but I love it. And that my kids can play it. I can still enjoy it. I'm interested in the story. When you get to the spot where the map kind of opens up, it's awesome. So yeah, that's Kinfire.
Oh, wait a minute. Something's wrong.
Did I screw something up?
So, yes, my solo game of the year. There was another one.
And another one. Which
There was
one?
another one. Yeah, my solo game of the year was Marvel United was my game of the year. My solo game of the year was another one, a different game.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was your solo game of the year? We'll do that real quick.
It was Isofarian Guard.
Oh,
That was my solo game of the year because I thought that was, but I Marvel United could be in there too. But my game of the year is Marvel United. My solo game of the year was the 2, which was Isofarian Guard. So that one I enjoyed that as well. But that's all good. Keep going.
okay.
Fire.
No,
Amazing.
my bad. I must have messed something up. But actually, fitting. Well, Barrett and I are going to talk about our game of the year, and you might as well join in the chat anyway, Derek.
Canje or Derek, whoever you are, you can join.
Join in. Isofarian Guard.
That's what it was. You wanted to segue. That's
Perfect segue, Derek.
go.
Perfect segue.
Yeah.
The only regret I have for Isofarian Guard is they're making it better, and I gotta wait.
Yeah. That's why I stopped.
So-
That's why I stopped.
Same.
I stopped as well. I actually really regret not pushing this. I think a little bit more with Colin to do this live. I think we would have had a lot of fun with this, and even not doing it live. I think this would have really hit home because a lot of the flack that I heard was like it's hard to keep focused on like where like it sometimes has a tendency to take a while to get certain things done or things like that. But I had never experienced this. I always, once I get a goal, I just kind of kept going on these goals, and it really put my playtime down to enough that I would enjoy what I'm doing up to that point, be able to put it away, bring it back out, put it away, bring it back out without feeling like I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, the rest of that's the only thing I really heard that I was kind of like, oh, maybe that's not going to work streaming. But I think it would have. And this game is really fun. There's nothing bad about this game to me this year. This was a really fun game. The story is great. The being able to even the small combats you're doing are so quick and fast that they're just super fun to do. And being able to combo with your other characters together and pulling chips, being like, all right, I can pull this chip to give you more attack, which would be awesome. I'm gonna put a heal in my bag. Now I'm gonna pull your bag. Oh, I got these 2 attack things, which I can do this. I got to flip the card, build a super attack, boom, and just drop these guys like drop it like it's hot. And it was
Amazing.
No, this game's awesome.
super good.
I think the moment where this kind of stood out to me as like this is something special was not when we were playing the game. This was between plays, and we had stuff on the table, and I just grabbed the book, and actually you grabbed the book too.
You know what? I kind of want to change my answer.
Too late. Too late.
Yeah, because you're right. I read the rule book.
She actually got through the book.
That never happens.
And well, not the rule book, but you were because the book has like the markets, right? What you can buy, and you have an idea once you start playing the game. You get an idea where to find resources based upon the regions they're in, right? And so you were like, "Ooh, I want this item. I need these resources," and we started planning out our path, right? And the fact that we're sitting there doing this outside of the actual game itself means so much. Like there's something special there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I had a hard time choosing, but I think, I would say this one then.
Yeah.
Okay, I just gotta say I'm mad at Barrett because I let him borrow my copy. Look behind him. Look behind him. See how that borrowing is going? He still has it. I haven't even gotten to play this. I guarantee you this will probably be on one of my lists, but I haven't played it yet.
Oh, yeah.
This is almost could be more. I could have put this as one of my biggest disappointments is I didn't play this with Colin.
Yeah.
He
brought this over for the first time he came over to my house for Game of Palooza, and he brought in his card. He's like, okay, so let's break. So here comes this huge box, and I was like, okay, well, it's just full of stuff. And then I didn't realize I needed a forklift to get that into my house because it's stupid heavy.
Super heavy.
But it's a fun game. My question though is for Barrett saying, hey, it's hype, it's perfect, it's great, it's a great game. How do you all feel? Because this has been a lot from people who I've chatted with about this game that do like the game, but they said that their problem was that table space was an issue because the enemy boards were just too big. Like, do you all feel that?
You think I would have a problem with table space with this game? Have you seen the games I've played? My goodness, I have like games that cover like 4 tables. This thing's nothing. No,
but I mean, in terms of, do you feel? My question is, do you feel that the components could have been simplified for a better experience, or you wouldn't change a single thing?
I wouldn't know unless I saw the options for a smaller component size.
Okay.
I would have to see that to see if that would be something that would change my opinion on if they could have done it around. From where it sits right now, I have no problem with the component size. I have no problem with what's out there. It fits on my table.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could do a little bit to shrink it down, but not a whole lot.
You don't need to use the enemy player match. You can just put the cards down and have the little cubes next to them. And that would save.
But you still need to know the numbers, right?
Well,
so you still need a track of some kind, or like a dial or something, right? There's some things you could do, but not a lot, I would say.
Table space.
But yeah, it is a typical cog for sure.
You see the board for Kingdom Death Monster and all you gotta stuff around that thing?
How about Aeon's Trespass, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't hold a candle with like Voidfall. Like Voidfall takes up more space than this.
I think that the thing to consider, right? Yeah. So the thing to consider is that we do have the ability to have the table space to play the games, but not a lot of people do. I mean, when I first started, I played on a table that was 4x2. That was my table space. There's no way that game would have fit. And I think a lot of people still work with that in terms of having like this tiny table that they can play a game on. And so I believe one of the people who did mention it to me to say, the game is too big is because they were operating on a small surface. They're like, hey, I live in this this tiny apartment. I have a very small table space. I can't fit this game, but it looks incredible. So I just have to watch it through your playthroughs.
Yeah.
I think that there's enough, not that it's hard for me to give that to have everything available to you. Yes, it's going to take a lot of table space. I think it's a condensable game to the point where that map can sit in the middle of the board, and then if you come to an encounters, you can pull your stuff over and pull it back. Sure, it's going to be a little bit time consuming and not ideal, but I think even in a smaller table, you could get this game. It's not like the board is a 3 foot by 4 foot board. It's small things all put together out on the table that can be put into or onto other things.
Because that map is chair next to you, or on the floor, or on your cat's back. So as it around,
now we're playing Leviathan. Now we're on the cat's back.
Well, I think it's more that when we talk about those pieces, but those pieces come together to make a big board. The map can be off to the side. So we'll talk about components for a second. The map can be off to the side, but you still have the enemy boards that are there. And let's say, past chapter 1, you're dealing with all 4 boards. And then you have the guards boards, which also add to that size of it. I have the space for it. It's fine. I think what resonated for me was just more that person saying, I would love to play this game. I just don't have the space for it.
I need to set it up, and I would like to set it up where I have my 2 hero boards and the 4 monster boards out on the table and just see how much that takes. Because if at one point, that is probably going to be your biggest table space, would be those 6 things out on the table. I don't know how much that takes completely because I've always had everything out on the board.
Gotcha. Okay.
I will say that the nice thing about this one and other games like Uprising does this as well. That's another table hog.
Yes.
That the boards are separated, right? So you have the flexibility. Once you have it all on one board, it makes it harder to manage. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I think that's something you could talk about in a co-op chat sometime is like how to get the games you'd like to play to a table that you might not have the room for.
Yeah, that would be a good topic for sure.
Because there are a lot of games out there that we really enjoy that I think fall into your category, Derek, where this is a big game. And it might not, like Madara, another big game that takes a ton of room. Kingdom Death takes up a ton of room. Earthborn Rangers, ton of room. I mean, it's just a table hog. I'm totally kidding.
The card game.
Still listening. Usually I say the word Kingdom Death Monster, kind of goes.
So
I'm sorry. Okay,
so Kim loves the one as well. So this will be your game of the year plus another one, I'm guessing.
Yes,
right?
I have another one.
Yeah. Okay.
Before I change my answer to this one, I had put. Go ahead. I put Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent game.
Yeah, super shooting bugs. I mean, what's not to love? And the burrowing
every good bug is a dead bug.
That's right. You can mine wherever. Like the last game we played, I strategically just used the special thingy to mine out to the middle of nowhere because I was trying to run away and not die.
Well, it's smart.
And then work my way around back to get the bugs.
You looked around, and the nice thing is the bug was coming after you, so it presented its weak side to me, and I could help.
Exactly.
Which was like all these little subtleties in the game. It's great. A fantastic game. Yeah. I can't wait for the expansions.
Yeah, it's super, super fun. So very close second place for me now, officially.
Yeah, I love this one. My biggest complaint about this one is the variety of missions, and I think that's going to be completely fixed with the expansions. So that's my biggest complaint. But I know there's an app out there that does the procedural mission generator, and we did do the procedural mission generator just with the rulebook as well, and it works fine, and that helps a lot. So great game.
Yeah.
Love this one.
Yeah, fantastic.
Does any of you have Lockdown other than me? Just out of curiosity.
Totally have what?
Lockdown.
Like Nemesis? Yeah, I have it.
I have it with you.
Did you see the app they made for it? I just thought of this because you said the word app.
No, not yet.
Okay, because it looked like all of a sudden it became kind of a campaign. It's like, hey, set this up with this, but don't use these things and add these things so that your goal is to do this kind of thing. So I was like, did they just all of a sudden put out a campaign for this through the app? because that's interesting. All right, I'm so sorry, Kim. I interrupted you. I heard the word app, and I didn't want to forget my train of thought because I've been trying to ask that question for a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute my mic.
No, you thought I was going to say Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, I did. I thought you were
For
going to pick
the
Marvel
Game of the
Zombies for
Year.
Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Yeah. But no, and I chose Deep Rock over that because I feel like the Deep Rock event cards spice it up a little
Yes.
bit more. Because Zombies,
Yes.
I've only played, with you, Derek, and it's always been fun, but I think the missions can be repetitive
More
or
stagnant.
stagnant, but
Yeah.
as opposed to the missions of Deep Rock when the events come in and throw you off your game a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah. But all three fantastic games.
Really good games.
It was
Really
a
good
good
I
games.
year.
will never forget the live play with Colin. It's one of my favorite clips I still have on my phone. It's when you flip over the card and you go, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen Starch Nuts! Starch!" I was like, "What are these?" And then, of course, I have to remember it's a video game, so like these are actual things probably from the
Right,
video game.
right.
Like, oh my gosh! And so, of course, you can eat these and get better.
No, it actually honestly was a fantastic year for co-ops. Fantastic year. There's so many good choices. So,
Yeah.
but we have one less category to go through. I know we're running long,
Yep.
but I can't expect it with 5 of us. So, the last category is most anticipated. So this is stuff coming up next year that we're really looking forward to. And we'll start off with Derek with his first option here.
Where's Snow?
Everybody's gonna
Where's
have
Snow? Where's
There you go.
Snow? Where's
Snow is here, she'd
Snow?
be very happy.
If Snow's here, she would be super happy. Primal. Oh. All right. So I am Kingdom Death Monster solidified my liking of boss battlers. So I really liked it. Aeon Trespass Odyssey just kind of sang more to it as well. There's been some misses. I'm not a fan of Townsfolk Tussle. I'm not a fan of Monster Hunter. But when this game came out, I was like, okay, this is Monster Hunter, but the way that I would probably like it. And I watched I really wish I could have played the prototype of this game. I think all of you did, and I didn't get. Oh no.
Well, I think Mike did.
Okay.
Mike was
But
the only one.
from when I saw this, I was like, this game's incredible. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. And as I followed along with it, and you see the expansion, I went all in on this. I have everything coming, and that is, I'm super pumped for this game. I really hope it lives up to the hype that I'm feeling for it. I had to do that after another game I had hype for that completely fell flat for me. I'm now saying I'm super pumped for this game, but I'm hoping its solo mode or soloable play will make this game so worth it, and the minis will be gorgeous. So this is my anticipated game for sure.
You don't even need the minis in that game. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the biggest. I actually went all in on Primal 2, Derek. So
Uh-huh.
I'm super excited for it. But I love Monster Hunter. So I'm very curious what you didn't like about Monster Hunter. I actually have stopped playing it because I'm just waiting for my blasted errata cards to come, which is supposed to come sometime in January. But I actually had Bill paint all of the big guys in that one. And we're doing a campaign of that once I get the
Yeah.
errata sheets.
Monster Hunter was by SFG, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I don't like it.
Forge Games.
That's why I don't like it.
It's not. It's actually. See. Okay. All right. We don't have time to discuss. I got to get going. It's already 10:06.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. But
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
And
I think Monster Hunter's great.
you had one other game on your list, Derek.
Yep.
Which will, and I'm going to join you with this chat because mine
Join
is also
me.
my most anticipated.
Join me.
Big surprise!
No way! Marvel United?
Big surprise!
Multiverse. Shocker. I know you're all surprised by this. I know you're all blown away. People have fainted in their computers. I understand.
I will say
Oh,
that
yeah.
if Spider-Geddon is a glimpse of what's to come for season 3, it's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be epic.
Mhm.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't
so
wait.
many boxes. So many boxes.
We can gush about this all day, but I don't think we've talked about this a lot already.
We did a stream where we gushed about it for over 2 hours. So
Surprise Pikachu face, exactly. Yeah.
but those are my 2 big ones.
You know we'll be covering this when it delivers, guaranteed. So
Yes.
All right, I'm going to jump in because I agree with you. That was also on my most anticipated. But I had another game on my most anticipated.
Yeah, we have to.
This is one of the games that one of those demos that I did not want to send on. I love this game. It was so fun. Iridia. Love this game. I cannot wait for this to deliver this coming year. It is made by the same designer that did Zaya, actually, that Colin mentioned earlier.
Faraway Games, Cody.
Yep, Cody.
Yeah.
Cody's a fantastic person, by the way. You get a chance to meet him. Fantastic guy. Awesome.
Yes.
But this game is so good. Now, I still remember
The blue cookie.
Yes, don't say anything more, but just leave it at that. But like the fact that we played, when did we play? We played a couple of years ago, right? And we still remember that story moment. Tells you something. So good. So anyway,
I'm just feeling the.
I can't wait. So
It's reminding me of Isofarian Guard. Remember how he did for like 3 years waiting for ISO? Every time I was most anticipated was Isofarian Guard. It's like the same thing now. It's this Iridia.
Yep. Now it's Iridia.
Right.
Most anticipated. So yeah, can't say
And
enough
we
about
will
this
be
game. Open
playing that one
world.
because I did back up.
Very
Okay,
much.
yes, I thought you did. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I did. I got a chance to demo this one. It's a great game. Absolutely great game. I can't wait for this
I
one.
backed this one as well, so I'm pumped to see how it plays.
Okay. Next one on the list, we'll jump to Kim, actually.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Colin, that was a
Isofarian.
great segue for me. Thank you. Thank you. It was perfect.
But this is on your most anticipated for what reason?
Well, because they're, like you said, they're coming out with new stuff. And we did too put a little pause on it because we want to see what's coming and then tweaking a couple improvements. So I really, it's so good. I want it to be better. So
The cool thing is you can still play it. And you can even use, I would say, about half of the updates already. The problem is some of the other updates are things I think are be really cool. So it's like it's still playable. Even you can even use some of the updates, like I know the redraws and things like that when you're moving and things. You could start doing that now.
Yeah.
The problem is I want to get those extra event cards. I want to get like all the things that are going along with that kind. And of course, so many different things you can make and do now that are coming. So yeah, I'm in the same boat you are, Kim.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Great choice, Kim.
yeah. Now my second one that I'm really looking forward to is
one that you and Baron can talk about.
yeah.
You both can
see,
talk about
the
this
way
one.
you're-
Rogue
the way you're
Angels.
lining these up. Ready, Barrett? Let's
Rogue
say it.
Angels.
Yeah,
Put it
Rogue
on there,
Angels.
Kim.
Yeah.
Emil and his
one of you that
awesomeness.
didn't put this on your list.
It
I
is.
don't
it
even
is
know who you are
anticipated.
anymore.
You're right.
Yep. Canje, I think that's it.
Where's my shame hat?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's gone.
Perfect.
Where's Steve's shame hat?
I need one too. I didn't put it on mine either.
Okay. To be fair, I have to say, to be fair, there are a ton of games coming out next year. It's not like there's only like 4 games. There are so many games coming out. You can.
This game is
I'm
unanticipated.
sure that if you'd have been like a list of 3 or 4 or 5, this would have hit it somewhere on everybody's list.
Definitely top 5
Well,
most
it's not
anticipated
that
this one.
We're
Definitely.
only putting games we're interested in. I mean, there's so many coming. It's gonna be so good. But Kim, yes, I'm with you. Rogue Angels is probably. I have not experienced a dungeon crawler that does everything I've ever wanted, and this is the one that does it.
Yeah, for people who are looking at this game, I just have 2 words: Mass Effect. This game is Mass Effect, the board game, and it is incredible. I honestly, I am so sorry, Emil. This should be on that most anticipated list. I am excited for this game. It is so fun.
Primal
there too.
I think this is more the fact that this is one of those games that I would be on my list too, but I know you guys are going to talk about it anyway, right? Type deal. So I want to call out some other games as well, but this one is going to be great. I love this.
Sorry, Kim. What do you think about this? You put it on your list.
I did. No, the thing that really is intriguing me is the alliance track with everyone that you're meeting, and I'm just like, who am I going to not like or like? And it's I'm just super pumped. And everything about our plays was great, so really looking forward to it.
And people are talking about table hogs. Believe it or not, as this game sits from the last time we played it, I don't feel this is a table hog compared to some of those other games. We were like, Fairing Guard, things like that. The map is a book, which is super cool. It has the characters themselves are all unique. They all have unique abilities, and the action system is fantastic. I think that's everything about this.
Yeah,
the dice are not fail dice. They're not. Oh, my turn, fail. I mean, you can, and on top of that, you can roll a die and then decide something afterwards. You're like, oh my gosh, I got 3 movement. Well, I'm not going to shoot the guy I was thinking of. I can move 3 spaces over here and crank it at that guy instead.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah,
It gives so
Judge
many
had a good
different
question here. Is it releasing 2024? We don't know, but this is just planned to release. So
Yeah,
it
this
could
is
be
most
2025.
anticipated for. Yeah.
Oh,
we don't know.
if it's not released in 2024, I'm going to Emil's house. And I'm taking
But
I
yeah,
get my
you're
plane ticket, and fly over there.
I think you're exactly right. The card mechanics in this game are just amazing, and that the cards are upgradable. It's just so Emil did a great job with this. I think this is going to be a really great game. It is on my anticipated list, so for sure. But this, it's amazing.
Even
And
when you have to make decisions in the book, like
Yeah.
it's not going to spoil something. 'Cause it's like the first mission. When you choose the point where you meet somebody in the first mission, those 2 choices are like huge. And when you read the outcomes of them, I've done both of them. It's a surprise that it works. What actually comes out of those really surprised me both times. So it's really and I'm looking forward to all those surprises coming forward.
Yeah, Kim, what about you? What's got you pumped? You said the personas are the other things.
Yeah, and just I don't know. I like getting attached to characters, and then those decisions that you're making. Well, like you said, we played a couple ways and murder somebody or let them live. Like these are kind of like the fun aspects and avenues of the build your own adventure portion of it that I think is going to be cool.
For sure. And Raphael, I do agree. The Earth Under Siege, another great one. There's so many good ones coming up. Oh gosh, can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, but Baron had another one on his list, and probably of no surprise to anybody. On what it was.
Shocker!
Yep, as I can click this. Here we go. There we go.
Dude, this was awesome. I played this with Colin. Dude, was this not awesome?
Dude, this was so good. So good.
It was so good that it drained my bank account. Oh, my wife's listening. This was so good.
It drained the channel's bank account. The channel's bank account. Remember that. Channel. You just say that.
Channel's bank account. I mean, I got the core box coming. That's it.
Why do you think I gave you all those games to sell?
She is listening to you.
This is super cool. The only thing I was not excited about with this campaign is the fact that they almost did a mini cool mini or not concept where it's like, here's the core box. Look, these cool things are coming. Oh, hey, we're going to add this little thing to it. And it's a little bit more. This is a little bit more. They started going down that route, which I was a little dissuaded by because I'm not a big fan when I feel like things are brought to your attention down the line that you weren't really anticipating the budget for, you know what I mean? And then you feel like you need to get it. So then you have to start deciding what you want versus what you don't. So it's not a game I could go all in on with every single thing they were offering through this campaign, which is too bad. But I mean, I got a pretty good majority of it. I'm going to say that right now.
I got all of it.
But the game itself is fantastic.
I got it all. I even picked the Void Seeders, which is the one I didn't have.
Void Seeders is my favorite faction.
I got it all.
That is my favorite faction is the Void Seeders.
We did have probably the best Nemesis experience playing that with Derek. I mean, you and Nick. And
these are the stories you get that you're going to remember for years and years to come.
Never forget. So hypothetically, in the same room, what happened?
Oh yeah, you'll injure the intruder for sure. But what about Derek? Oh, he'll just take it damage.
It's okay.
And then I threw a grenade back.
It's the best co-op, semi-co-op experience I've ever had.
One of the things that Steve talks about and that Steve says that made that game even more memorable was how hop in, hop out it was. People like I think was it Mike that was playing? I can't remember, but someone was playing, and then they're like, "Hey, I gotta go," and they popped out, and I popped in, and so and we just picked it up and kept going. So it's very modular that way.
Yeah,
and Brendan came in for a little while.
Yes,
for a little while.
Yeah,
and it was pretty awesome. And we had other people. I think even like did Dan jump in? I think Dan jumped. I know Matthew jumped in for a while.
Matthew jumped in.
He jumped in and jumped out a little bit and things like that. So yeah, I was surprised at how well that worked. I mean, I think it sounds weird, but I think you needed somebody there like me that actually knew the game completely. So if you were jumping in, I could just go, "Hey, all you gotta do is play cards to do those actions. It's up to you what you want to do," kind of thing. And so yeah, I think it worked out really well. But yeah, this is something I'm excited for. And knowing them, they will deliver on time. They are very good about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is planned for 2025, FYI, just so people know. But yes,
What?
it's
Sounds
planned for
about right.
2025.
Barrett cheating, putting it on the 2024 list. Sounds about right.
I didn't know
It is your
that.
most anticipated, so it is accurate.
Yes, it's still
Yeah,
good.
okay, I guess so.
When it
So.
delivers.
So you're telling me I put 2 games on the list that might not even deliver in 2024?
That's
I,
okay.
Emil, prove me wrong. Bring it out in
Prove me wrong,
2024.
How many times did Steve put Isofarian Guard? I swear it was 3 years.
Well, there's some Ice Storm on there
Probably.
for a couple of years too.
Probably.
Uh,
Okay, Colin. How about you wrap up the show with your most anticipated?
So actually, I'm terrible at the most anticipated stuff. But this game, I've actually played the competitive version, the first game,
Mhm.
and I really liked it. But I ended up selling it because the box was just ginormous, and I didn't play it enough. But the theme looks super cool. The your character board and how you activate seems really cool in this game. And I love, this is the same company that did Valor and Villainy. And so
Yep.
I know the components are going to be just,
yeah.
they're just going to be out of this world, right? My kids are going to love it. It's going to,
Oh, yeah.
they show them and I just, woo, I get all excited. So I don't know a ton about the game. I don't know a ton about it, but I know that it's a campaign adventure game and you're working together and you have cool mechanics and the minis look awesome and I'm excited.
Did you
for it.
play
So
this one, Colin?
What?
Have you played this one?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, you're gonna like this one. You're gonna
Yeah.
like this one.
Yeah,
The interesting thing about the unique thing about this is your choices in the game. You have a grid. I think it's a 3x3 and a 9 square grid, and
Yeah.
as you place one of your actions down there, you'll do either the row or the column. And
That's
so
right.
you're chain these actions together in unique
That
ways.
sounds cool.
And once the row or column's filled, you pick them all back up and have to play them again. And so
Yep.
it's really interesting how you
You
leverage.
want to
these-
try and elongate it with ones, but then do a really cool big action, but then you have to pick it all back up. It just seems really
Yeah.
cool.
Really cool. It's a really fun one. And like
I,
it's
Is it gonna be
beautiful.
too complex for my kids? I don't know, but I think for me, I think I'll really enjoy that.
Yeah, I back this game solely because the map is a book.
Yeah,
Solely because that I didn't do a lot of research. I saw that there was a Tidal Blades that came out prior, but it was competitive and this one wasn't going to be. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot, and then I backed it at its core set. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
This is gonna be a good one for sure. For sure. Okay. Well, that was a long chat. That is
Yes.
all we had to cover
We
today.
did it, guys. We made
We
it.
did it.
We made it to the end. So hopefully that was fun for everyone watching. Thank you
This
for
is
joining
the
us
end.
live. If you haven't joined us live. And thank you, Derek, Barrett, and Colin and Kim for sticking around for this whole long stream. So
Yes.
Appreciate
I will
you
say
having
that
us.
I think everybody's list, we kind of like green light it all. I think last year we had some like, oh no, you're totally, that's garbage. But I think this year we're all pretty much in sync. It was just, which is
That's actually a
cool
good
and
point.
fun.
yeah.
Well, I think it's more just kind of the, we kind of respect each other's opinions, and so even if someone had something on there that
Like
that
Primal
someone
instead
else
of Rogue
didn't like,
Angels.
and we tried, some people tried not to be a jerk about it.
Tried and failed.
Just the stating fact.
No, but I think it's because we respect each other's opinions, and even if it's a game that we don't like, we're not gonna bash each other or call each other dumb or anything like that. We're just like, oh well, that's for you, and I hope you enjoy it, and I think that's what makes it work.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the best part about the board game space in general is there's so many games out there that not every game is for every person, and you find the games that you're interested in, the games that you like, and you're able to play those games with yourself or with others that have the same likes that you do, which is, I think, one of the greatest things about this space. And the respect that everybody gives you in this space is also huge. And I think that comes from the community itself, including all the people in the chat. I appreciate all of you in there. I'm sure not all of you agreed with everything we said, but I know all of you think that Rogue Angel is amazing and it's coming soon.
So normally we go around the table, say what's coming up, but I think due to time, I'm gonna call it quick here. But I will say one thing real quick. This is a co-op guild, so thanks for joining us at this channel. But please, if you're not familiar with Canje Studios or maybe at the table, I'm guessing most people are. But if you're not, go out to their channels. They do all of them do fantastic work, and go subscribe and like.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Build the guild. Build the guild.
Build the
That's right,
guild.
build the
Exactly.
guild. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks everyone for joining, and have a happy new year, and we'll see you next time at the guild.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye bye.